And we are live. What's good, everyone? Welcome to the Open Field Podcast, the new and improved Open Field Podcast. I am here with Lonnie, Grant, Redell, and my name is Random. Um, we got a lot of things to talk about today, and obviously, we're going to be doing our final mock draft preview. Shout out to Trent for hooking up so I can get on the PFF mock draft. But how's everybody doing?
Doing good, doing good.
Yeah, facts, man. Is chilling. Every day of this week is surprisingly something going on for me at the very least. Was on the panel today talking that good stuff for the Mavericks and Luca. You already know, talking the real truths of the matter. And now we about to talk some football draft tomorrow, so it should be good. It should be
Actually, I
good.
don't know if I'm good because I don't know what my Patriots are gonna do. I really don't know because
Oh,
Well,
hold on. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that a little later,
Watch
Lonnie.
him draft a kicker.
someone from North Dakota.
that'd be hilarious. I mean, you're in a better spot than the Giants are, so
That is true.
That is true.
Apparently, your Giants are trying to take my pick. Need them to chill. Need them to chill.
Hey, I said Jaden Daniels and T. Higgins and the Giants. If it comes true, call me a psychic. Trust.
We are
Call
not
me a
calling you that.
psychic.
I refuse to call you a psychic.
Oh, you can call me him. That's fine too.
No.
All
that's,
right. Hold on. Before we start talking about the draft, let's talk about. We got a few topics to knock out before that,
What up, Shift?
but let's start talking about some long overdue justice.
Thank
Some
you.
long overdue justice. Reggie Bush finally got his Heisman back. Obviously, Grant, as the one of the more college football knowledgeable out of all of us, can you talk about why he lost his Heisman in the first place? I'll give you guys a little thing. They tried to give it to Vince Young. Vince Young was like, nah, that's his. And it only took 15 years for him to get it back when the NCAA is at its weakest and people don't need it anymore. But let me stop cooking. Grant, let the people know about how we got to Reggie Bush finally get his Heisman back today.
So the story behind it is, right, when he was at college, Reggie Bush, 04 USC, most craziest college football team that we'd all seen. Everyone was wanting to have Reggie Bush because he was the centerpiece. So there's a guy named Lloyd Lake who was a hopeful sports marketer, right? He got to the Bush family first and he showered them with gifts like cash, cars, and even rented a home for his parents. His plan was simple. He wanted Reggie to sign with the marketing company after he graduated from USC. When Reggie didn't sign, Lloyd, who was already a career criminal, by the way, and a convicted felon, sued that family in an attempt to recoup, I think it was like $290,000. And that whole case went on for 4 years. And then eventually details came up that Reggie had received gifts, some of which were like ridiculous, like a Lambo and stuff, and a limo ride to the Heisman ceremony, which was included in those gifts. And then what essentially came up after that was NCAA got put USC on probation and forced them to vacate wins. And even the USC president just stripped everything with Reggie Bush related. And there was reports at that time, the reports were circled that they were going to strip his Heisman. But at that point, Reggie had enough. Keep in mind, he was dating Kim K at the time, but he surrendered it. So, but that was a stupid decision. But
He kept going back to her too so many times. I just want him to do better.
Yeah. Now, but keep in mind, you have to understand the 2000s was in an era where you were great enough to be offered gifts. You were going to take them. But Reggie and nobody really grew the game more than he did. And since NIL exists, but I just think this whole story was stupid because I'm so glad he got it back. Because I've said this before. Reggie Bush getting his Heisman token was the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. He gave it up because they were going to take it from him anyway. And I've understood why they did it, but I still think it's stupid because you're voluntarily saying you're taking him, punishing him for being given gifts. But 3 years ago, the whole Miami team was literally be getting paid by an upstate New York businessman who went to Miami, and y'all didn't say nothing. But this is good for Reggie. I'm glad he's finally getting that recognition that he deserves because he's one of the greatest college football players of all time. And like for a player, you've never seen anything like it. It's high time he got the praise he deserves with that trophy because they've had it omitted for years, and it's like they've been taking the piece of history out. And I essentially think, with Reggie, don't get me wrong. The whole story is crazy, but it's kind of sad to see that they took them this long to do it, though, to finally give him that trophy. Because this could have been handled a long time ago. But the problem is with the Heisman Committee, they're all stubborn old men, and they kind of get into this position of where, like, they didn't want to give it back until NIL started to become a thing. And then they were like, because now NIL is a thing. So everyone's getting paid. But back then it was frowned upon when you're getting paid under the table. But at the end of the day, I'm happy for Reggie Bush, man. He deserves it because he's been wanting this trophy for years. And I when I saw this morning, I was so happy, man. This man deserves it.
Before we continue, can you drop the Cash App?
It's already done. And I'm a post it again a few times during the show.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's all I gotta say. He deserves it. That whole situation was stupid, but I'm finally glad he's getting the recognition he deserves.
Anybody else got anything to add?
Yeah, Reggie Bush was one of, if not the greatest, like college running back ever. And the fact that like the NCAA, like they always do the most, and they always try to make like an example out of somebody. They always try to like go over the top when they really, we all know that they shouldn't have the power that they have in the first place because they have used and abused it so many times. And honestly, I would of course say before the NIL, but once NIL became a thing, you should have handed him as soon as you announced it, 5 minutes later, you should have handed him back his trophy. Because that is like, oh, you're punishing him for getting $300,000 while you're letting kids get private airplanes and all these different type of endorsement deals for money. So, it's a little too late for me because he should have been celebrated this whole time. He should have been involved with the Heisman different activities this whole time. And just the fact that he wasn't is a travesty. I'm glad that he's still relatively young to be able to like do those things now. But it's like, I don't know. It's a little too late. I low-key feel like they owe him an apology, not just giving him his Heisman back. They owe him an apology. Because now basically what they're doing now is so much of a surplus that's a problem that they've created. So I just feel like it's tacky. I definitely happy that he has it back, but yeah, I'm tired of it. We're all tired of the NCAA.
Rodell?
I mean, I don't really have a strong opinion. I don't know the context behind the situation, and I don't like to make blanket statements. Shout out Reggie Bush. He got his Heisman. Cool. He can have the trophy and all that stuff. Other than that, I mean, that doesn't really change much for me. And the NCAA is changing as of right now, but who's to say that this current wave is going to be the best thing moving forward? There's a lot of kinks to figure out, but we'll see.
Well, I'm looking at it like Lonnie said. It's too little, too late. If we're being honest, because now with the NCAA losing power and relevance, now it feels like they're just trying to buy as many brownie points as they can, and it's like the people don't need you anymore. So what do you think you giving him back this trophy is going to do now when it could have really meant something, Grant, in 2015 or 2013 or even 2018, but waiting this long to give it back, which was, I just always had a problem with it, but I'm glad at least justice is done. Reggie Bush can pick up his Heisman again and proclaim himself as that winner, because the best part was that, at least for me, was always that Vince Young never took the trophy, because he's like, no. It's like he understood the significance, because then it would feel real bad if Vince Young's so now what? You're gonna go to Vince Young's house and take it from him to give it back to Reggie Bush if Vince Young didn't take the trophy. But I'm glad justice is served.
Yeah, it's high time. They kind of put it off too long, and they did it for stupid reasons. Because at the time, you have to understand, Reggie kind of essentially came up from nothing, and his parents, they were giving this stuff to his parents and all this nice life from the hard work he put in, and the only reason why this dude got even brought this whole situation to light was because he wouldn't sign. Like, that's the pettiest thing I've heard in my life. Why would you give a dude gifts and then sue him to get the money that you gave him essentially, but then want to say, oh, well, you didn't sign with me, so I'm going to see. It's stupid. But he just I think it's just the whole thing was stupid. And the fact that now it's being finally changed for him it should have happened a longer time ago. But sometimes the NCAA is so stubborn.
Well, now that justice has been served, let's switch it up and actually focus on the NFL. Do y'all want to start with the good news or the bad news? Because I am always a fan of starting with the bad news, but I'll let
Start
y'all
with the
decide.
bad news.
The Bengals. Let's start with, and this is a team that obviously Riddell in particular has, well, Jalen, but Jalen's not here. Close that deal, my boy. But Riddell, you let us know about the Trey Henderson news where he requested a trade today because he's looking for more long-term stability. Obviously, there's still the situation with T. Higgins. How did you guys react to this news, and how do you guys feel about the Bengals prospects moving forward?
Well, the Bengals just said deal with it. They just said that they're not trading him, and they have no interest of trading him. And he's under contract for how many more years?
I think it's
2 more years. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're chilling because so 2 more years, and then if they need to, they can just franchise tag him. So he's kind of stuck. Like, what is he?
I'm not gonna lie, the Bengals, the way they are operating right now is
kinda weird.
a joke. And
they're kind of in like panic mode.
Because this is not something where it's like, okay, a couple of nobodies. No, this is arguably your best defensive player and arguably your third most important offensive player requesting a trade. This is the pillars of your team that don't want to be in the team anymore because we know this. Cincinnati doesn't like to pay people. They just don't like to. The Bengals
is notoriously cheap.
Facts. I mean, obviously, they found their generational prospect who's going to give them money beyond money for years to come in Joe Burrow and his tag team partner in Jamar Chase. But everybody else, it don't matter. Like Trey Henderson is an underrated defensive end. He's been an underrated defensive end for a long time. And he's been really great for the Bengals in that defense. And T. Higgins, we know who he is. He's arguably a number one in half of the teams in the NFL. So as of right now, with all the turmoil, and we know drama can lead to you getting traded. Ask Stephon Diggs. Not both of them are not going to be on the team moving forward. Like maybe next year, but after that, one or both of them won't be on the team. And this doesn't shed yourself in a good light with Joe Burrow moving forward. Because if Joe Burrow starts not liking it, man,
you don't want out too.
SOL.
Well,
for sure.
To kind of give you guys a little bit of I guess looking at how Trey Henderson's year went last year, he had a career best 17.5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles. Like Riddell said, he was the best player on their defense last year, even though he dealt with injuries also like everybody else did, but he still balled out. So I can see where multiple things can be true, right? The Bengals, because it is within 2 years, you just don't want to go to that last contract year, and now you're deciding, because if he balls out again, now you're paying him way more than you could have paid him if you decided to pay him right now, right?
I agree.
So there's also, so he said he's still hoping that the Bengals can work out a long-term deal, but if not, he wants to be traded, but he's also thrown out retirement. So
I mean, people been retiring early, but he is 29. I mean,
it feels like the Bengals could have done a lot more to set themselves up for this, but with because remember when Joe Burrow was going to get his contract, there was for a second we were like, is he actually going to get paid for it? Because we've never seen the owner do something like this. He argued with Carson Palmer at certain points about getting Carson Palmer paid. And at that point, you could argue Carson Palmer was the best quarterback they've ever had.
Yeah. I mean, but at the same time, on the Bengals, I'm totally calling his bluff because, like, wait, so you're telling me you want a longer term deal than what we're currently offering you. But if you don't get a long term deal so you can be secure, you're gonna retire. That's the opposite of what you're saying you want. So you're saying you want to be set. You're saying you want a multi-year contract. Probably it's probably gonna be 3-4+ year contract at least. Might be a 5-year contract that he's looking for. So if you don't get 5 years of a contract, you're gonna retire. That's the opposite of what you're basically implying.
No, I mean, I think it's valid because at some point, why are you disrespecting me in my face? And the fact that the Bengals are not doing this just once, but twice with T. Higgins as well.
I agree.
Like, these are the star players. They talk. They talk.
I'm just saying
So,
that's not a good strategy for him to say like, oh, I'm going to retire, but wait, you just told me that you want a long-term deal, but now you're going to retire. That doesn't make sense.
I mean, if you really just don't like the person that you work for, leave. I ain't mad at it.
I mean, he could just wait for his contract to run out and then walk. But yeah,
I mean,
Didn't he sign a
you
1-year
work-
extension too? That's the
Yeah, I
thing
think
I'm
he-
trying to
I
wonder.
think he did
Because
sign a
like
1-year
He
extension.
did. He signed a 1-year bridge deal at 21 million, but he wants long-term security.
yeah, but
This is
that's
probably his
stupid.
last chance to get the bag.
they probably
Yeah.
made an underneath.
They're not going to give it
table
to him.
deal
That's what.
saying that
Because
we're
remember,
probably
the year
extending for a
before
long
last
time.
year, their Pro Bowl safety Bates or whatever, he wanted money too, and they just said
And they
nah.
let him go.
And then they drafted the safety in the first round.
And Jesse Bates is one of the best safeties in football right now. So
Yeah. So
they got rid of Owuzie too. He's gone. He's on the Titans now.
don't be surprised if they
They
draft
got rid of DJ Reader. He got paid on the Lions.
Well,
Joe
you wouldn't.
Mixon, they didn't want to pay Joe Mixon. He's on the Texans.
Who's
Like,
their backup? Are they drafting a guy?
They got Zach Moss for a cheaper deal.
I don't think he's.
Zach Moss is cool, but is he Joe Mixon?
No, he's not Joe Mixon.
But Joe
No, he's
Mixon's
not
on the
Joe
older
Mixon.
side though, so like,
Joe Mixon's fine. He had a good, even though like it's not his best year. Like last year was still good for the Bengals.
He's the best running back on the Texans right now.
Oh, for sure.
Respect Damian Pierce.
No, Joe Mixon.
No, he lost his spot.
He lost
Respect
his spot to Devin Singletary.
Yeah, he lost his spot. He got work to do.
Who's your running back right now on the Giants?
Devin Singletary, the guy that's better than Damian Pierce.
So you're cooked in general.
It's like,
I mean, the Giants are cooked right now, so it's whatever. But overall, the Bengals, they don't want to pay nobody. A bunch of the people that are pillars on the team are gone because they don't want to pay nobody. And then you have T. Higgins and Trey Anderson, two of your top 5 players on the team, still don't want to pay them. Like,
I'm sorry, we gotta talk about Joe Burrow's injury history. It's every year. He's almost every year.
Well, that's kind of obvious at this point.
So
it's the biggest fear they're gonna have.
Injury-prone quarterback.
So the Bengals have like $23 million in cap space. They only have six.
Yeah, and they got paid Jamar Chase after this next season.
Well, they picked up his option.
Oh, that's right.
They picked up his options.
Oh, did they pick up his option? All right.
Yeah, so they technically have 2 more years too. So now what? You want to wait 2 years, then you have Hendrickson and Jamar?
They're not waiting 2 years. They're gonna extend him.
Well, that's why I'm saying. So you pay. So this is what you're gonna tell Trey. You're gonna pay Jamar, which obviously Jamar is a better player, but you still got to deal with T. Higgins. You still got to deal with Hendrickson. We don't know who else is coming up at the same time. Who else could be coming up in those 2 years? Who could be vital? The Bengals are in a very precarious position.
Shout out Jacksonville, T. You're going to be a Jaguar.
Yeah, G-Baby's been pushing that narrative heavy.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Jacksonville Jaguar Giant.
Yeah,
you can come to the Patriots. Let Jaden or Drake May throw you the ball.
They have the money.
I was say, yeah, we have the money. I don't know about the Giants cap. I forget if you guys are okay with cap money, but
it'll work out. We don't have to pay Saquon, so it'll work out.
Well, we go from a team that refuses to open up the vault to a team that surprisingly opened up the vault today, with the Lions paying the Sun God record money and paying Penei Sewell very good money. How do we feel about the Lions right now securing their best offensive weapon and the linchpin of their line?
Well, actually, you said a reverse because Penei Sewell's now the highest paid offensive lineman.
I thought the Sun God got the highest receiver. Did they both get the highest contracts for their position?
I know Amon-Ra got 120, and then Penei Sewell, he got like 110, I think.
No, he got 110. He did get 110.
Yeah, he's the highest.
So Amon-Ra got a 4-year, $120 million extension that includes the most guaranteed money for a receiver in NFL history, which is around $77 million. And then Penei Sewell got 4-year, $112 million that includes $85 million guaranteed. That's essentially what they got right now on their current contract, which is insane money.
Plus, did they pay Jared Goff, or they are about to?
They're probably
They're talking about how
Yeah,
they
they're
want to pay Jared Goff.
The Lions look good for a little while going forward.
I don't think
So
they
how
have
do we feel about them in NFC?
I don't think they have any other major pieces to pay yet except for Aiden Hutchinson, and that's like another
Couple years plus the option
Aiden,
like a pickup.
3 years. I think they have like I think they have 3
upcoming.
years.
Yeah, they got a couple.
Trying to think top of my head. Obviously, Aiden's gonna come up. I guess Jamison Williams eventually will come up. Rookie Sam, rookie Jameer, and then Jared Goff. I mean, yeah, Jared Goff is going to be the big one. What is Jared Goff going to get? Is going to be big for the Detroit Lions. They're going to hope he asks for something team friendly. That's what they're going to hope for. Something very team friendly.
Well, if the cap jumps up like it did this year, they may not be worried about that if that's what they're anticipating the cap doing.
I think yeah.
Go ahead, Grant. Sorry.
No, I think the main thing I really like about this is it locked up. I think St. Brown like getting all pro honors and making him the third receiver, and I think he's the third one in the franchise to get it.
Mm-hmm.
And Sewell had the second best pass block rate. Like I think having to lock those two down was a necessity. You cannot. I don't think you can function that offense without Amon-Ra, especially with the numbers he was putting up. So I think it just but I think the thing that I really like thinking about this, it sets a floor for Jettis, CeeDee Lamb, and Brandon Ayuk if Brandon Ayuk leaves San Francisco. Because if Amon-Ra is getting paid that much money when their contracts end, because I don't know how much, I think Justin's got a year left, 2 years left on his current deal. They're gonna come asking for that money, and so
Brandon Ayuk is like far off or like from St. Brown, but he doesn't have like the accolades. I don't think like in terms of negotiations, he's gonna be able to say, "Give me $77 million, guaranteed."
At the very least, you could argue he should make close. Maybe a little bit more, but for the 49ers, they're paying too much people, so they're not going to pay him. That's not. But Jettis, he's getting the bag.
Yeah,
Chase.
Jettis has to get the bag.
Yeah, if he don't get the bag, they're going.
Jettis should be the highest paid receiver.
He doesn't want to sign unless he has like a good quarterback. So,
I mean, the haul they could get for him would be massive.
At least 2 first-round picks, at least.
2 first for Jettis. I don't know if you're getting 2 first for Jettis. That might be.
You could argue he's the best receiver in the league. Why would you?
No. Tyreek Hill was the best receiver in the league. You didn't get 2 first for Tyreek Hill.
Wasn't that the price for Devontae and Tyreek, and they're older than him?
No, Tyreek did not go for 2 first.
Let me look at the Tyreek.
Devontae, I don't know if he went for 2 first either.
I could have sworn he did.
Wide receivers are valuable, but not so valuable that you're giving up 2 first-round picks, and you have to pay him a massive contract. Like maybe 1 first, probably maybe 1 first.
So they traded 5 picks, 22 first, a first, a second, a 4th round pick, and then the next year they traded a 4th and a 6th.
So I mean,
but Jettis is younger.
What you were getting, it was. I just think they needed these 2 moves. I feel like now with the Lions, now that you lock down these 2 guys, I think that's the best thing that they necessity wise need for their team. Because I don't know about y'all, but I think Detroit has got enough talent this season to be really dangerous yet again. And with the way I see them, with the way they're moving, I think it could be a surprise if they win a division. So,
and just to let you guys know about the Jared Goff contract situation, according to Adam Schefter, they are not close on a deal. So this could take some time even after the extensions.
I'm not surprised. I mean, yeah, Detroit Lions getting Amon-Ra, who's actually a really good receiver. Those nasty people who call him a slot merchant, disgusting work. And Penei Sewell, arguably 1 or 2 best left tackle in the NFL at the moment. You shore them up, of course. Jared Goff is going to be a situation where I think he should understand his value to an extent. I mean, you want this team to be competitive, and the NFC is pretty open compared to the AFC, but the biggest looming threat for all NFL teams moving forward is, are we good enough to beat the Kansas City Chiefs? That's what they're going to think about. And if you get crazy money, Jared Goff, you won't be.
Well, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this real quick. The Lions still have $27 million of cap room.
Okay.
I still think I don't think Jared Goff will take top quarterback money, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's top 5 if he takes top 5 money.
They're not winning crap if Jared Goff gets top 5 money.
Because the crazy part is I'm looking at the cap right now. The Patriots are still up at the top with $144 million over on the cap, and the Lions are second with $122 million. Why do the Patriots have so much dead money? I'm sorry, Lonnie.
We're not paying anybody. Who do we have?
Don't look at me, man. I'm just looking at the cap. Oh my god!
Hey, tell me who we have on the Patriots. KJ Osborne.
Don't y'all got a lot of dead money. That's what I'm looking at. A lot of dead money.
KJ is going to be a good number 2 for a team.
But right now he's our number 1.
He's the best receiver.
He won't be. Y'all will draft a wide receiver. So
we'll see. We will see.
You'll draft in the second round.
Was he on the Vikings last year?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you had Jordan Addison, T.J. Hawkinson, and Jettas on your team, I'm sure you would look like a great receiver because no one cares about you. No one cares about you.
No, he was good before last year. Like KJ Osborne was a good number 2 when Adam Thielen was declining, and then last year when Jettas went down, Addison and Osborne were the 1 and 2 options, especially when Kirk wasn't playing. So. He could be a solid number 2 for your team.
He'll be right. Rebel drafters. I'm trying to have a good day tomorrow. I have hope. Okay, I have hope. I need them to just receive my mental airwaves so I don't crash out on here. Because I swear to God, if we get some inside linemen from Saskatchewan, I swear to God, you'll just see me in the draft tackling somebody.
So what if they get Joe Alt? No. Let's save that for the draft. Let's save that for the draft talk. All right, we got a few more things and then we'll dive into the mock draft itself. The NFL has been conducting tampering investigations on both the Eagles and the Falcons regarding Saquon Barkley with the Eagles and Kirk Cousins to the Falcons. We're talking both teams could lose picks. How do we feel about this? Is this important? And how y'all keep getting caught? Because this happens, every year now? It seems like at this point. Is really losing these picks worth it? Because I think it's not like they lose like a 6-round pick. They lose substantial picks, don't they?
It depends on the picks. Overall, I don't really care.
The Dolphins lost, I want to say, a 2nd-round pick when they got caught with the Tom Brady, Sean Payton thing. I think they lost like a 2nd-round pick.
That's an impact player.
With a big fine to I think the fine affected their cap.
The fine doesn't matter.
I'm saying the fine affected their cap. So I think it was like a multi-million-dollar fine that affected their cap. I could be wrong. No, they lost like a 2nd-round pick. They had a fine, and then it was like something else. And then the owner couldn't go to the facilities for like 6 months or some bullshit. I don't know, some bullshit.
That none of that really means much to me. I mean, the Dolphins were still a good team.
Not going to be able to conclude it this week as they were hoping to. So if it's a draft pick, it's going to affect next year, most likely.
Oh, I'm fine with that.
All right, so we'll move on to the next topic. I guess this one, because I've seen a lot of chatter. This one's just for me. Why is everybody gassing up Zach Wilson going to the Broncos? Like Sean Payton's about to make lemonade with that guy.
It's a meme. It's a meme. It's not.
It's ridiculous. Sean Payton's on fraud watch. Well, he's about to turn him to what, the next Drew Brees?
He's on the hot seat in general.
No, he's not. He held the gas on Payton.
I don't think so.
Sean Payton getting on the hot seat after 1 year when he almost made the Broncos from a disgusting team to a playoff team.
But he sold at the end. He
didn't sell. They didn't want to pay Russell Wilson.
He sold,
deservingly so. Russell Wilson sucks.
He was playing well enough last year. They sold at the end of the season.
Okay, they weren't
wanted to push your quarterback to take a ridiculous deal.
They weren't going to do anything with Russell Wilson.
You don't.
What was going to happen?
They had a chance to make the playoffs, Riddell. They had a chance to make the playoffs. They were playing well enough.
They're going to lose in the first round.
It don't matter. What are we talking about? From how bad the Broncos were to making the playoffs next year? That doesn't matter to you?
No, because it doesn't mean nothing.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
Like,
They
they
that's
don't.
true.
Sean Payton's
I
not the one cutting the checks. Sean Payton's not the one in charge of the cap.
Sean
space.
Payton has been hostile to Russell Wilson since he got
I
the,
think that's
which
all
is rightfully deserved.
Deservingly
Which is
so.
rightfully deserved.
Which is, I
But
mean,
you don't
Both
do
the
that to
owner
your
and the
starting
GM.
quarterback
He
who's
didn't
playing
okay
well
for the owner
enough
and the GM.
as you're in the middle of a playoff race. You don't do that to them.
Why was he playing better this year?
He was
it
playing way
not because
better.
of Sean
'Cause-
Payton?
Yes,
Was
but
it
that's
not because of Sean
okay.
Payton?
So Sean Payton was not wrong for what he did to Russell Wilson.
No, I don't
Oh,
care.
we're really
Russell
putting
that's
Wilson's not that good.
disgusting.
They did.
That's
I don't care.
GM and the owner.
Russell Wilson was okay at best. The thing about Russell Wilson is he's someone that Sean Payton didn't want from the start after seeing how Russell Wilson conducts himself. And he realized that this team has a obvious ceiling if Russell Wilson is their quarterback moving forward. So they try to negotiate something. Hey, Russell Wilson,
That's
maybe help out the team
ridiculous,
so we can.
Riddell. You
we
wouldn't
can actually
accept that if you
go
were Russ.
forward.
You wouldn't accept that. Why did
It's
we have
not-
a whole when we were on press box? We had a whole argument about that with J-Rob and everybody. Sean
Okay,
Payton was
I didn't
wrong.
agree. I didn't agree with you.
All right, so
No.
Randall-
Sean Payton was so
Randall,
every
that's a big point.
every coach should do this to a star player or whatever, whoever's making.
Why are you
That's
focused on
ridiculous.
Player. What are you calling Russell?
Why would
Wilson
he waive an
a star
injury
player?
clause? You wouldn't do that, Riddell. So he was right to do that. He was
Why are you
right to
focusing on
sell
the
his
coach?
team. Nothing. Sean Payton has power in that organization, does he not?
Does the GM and the owner not?
Sean Payton. Okay, of course the owner does. Okay,
Who made the trade for Russell Wilson before they got there?
it don't matter who did it. Sean Payton
The
has the
GM and the
power now.
owner.
So
So you're telling
once
me
again,
Sean Payton
Lonnie,
didn't then
Lonnie,
consult the owner and the GM like, hey, you're the quarterback that you traded all those assets.
they don't
for,
do that without
you're paying
Russell Wilson.
hundreds
They
of
don't
millions
do
of
that without
dollars,
Sean
bro.
Payton's
I'm
blessing.
just gonna sit him. He didn't think to ask them. He didn't think to get the okay from
They
the
don't.
GM.
They do not walk up to Russell Wilson and tell him to waive his injury clause without Sean Payton's blessing. They don't
or
do
the
that.
GM's blessing or the owner's blessing. We can't just all
No,
say
you.
it's Sean
Let's not sit here and pretend like Sean Payton is waiting for the GM to make picks. He has ultimate input. What are we talking? It's Sean Payton, not freaking,
Sean
not
Elway not have
freaking whoever the
input?
Giants coach
John
is.
Elway not have any input.
What are we talking about? What are you saying?
John Elway's in charge of what, the player operations. Does he not have input?
It's not the same. There's a reason why they send him up. It's not the same. It's not the same. Sean Payton is a Hall of Fame coach. So what you
What
just
is
want
John
to
Elway? What is John Elway? A Hall of Fame quarterback.
what I can't
He's
believe.
the head of the organization. He's the head of the snake. What are we talking
No,
about?
the owner's the head of they don't do that. They do not walk up to Russell Wilson and tell him to cut his injury clause or waive it without Sean Payton's blessing. Let's not sit here and cap. What are we
I'm saying
talking
he didn't
about?
give his blessing, but I'm saying
Yeah, I still don't care that
GM
Russell Wilson
clearly gave his
is that
blessing.
bad.
The
I don't
owner
care.
clearly gave his blessing. John Elway clearly gave his blessing. So we can't just all say Sean Payton, Sean Payton, Sean Payton.
Nobody
He's the
wanted
head of the
Russell
snake.
Wilson. Nobody wanted Russell Wilson on the team no more, bro. It is what it is.
It was a group.
I don't know.
decision, Randall.
Well, I
Well,
don't know
you're
what
just
you're
fine
supposed
with
to do.
I don't
Russell
know what
Wilson
you're
waiving his
supposed to do.
injury clause. So you're fine with that ultimatum.
Yeah, I don't care.
That's crazy. That's crazy work. That's crazy.
You
work.
can have Russell Wilson and
That's
then
crazy
complain
work.
about my team.
If they
sucking
ever
all
do
you
that,
want.
I know this. If they ever do that to Mahomes, you're going to be losing your fucking mind.
That's
Watch.
a stupid ass
If they ever
analogy.
do that to
That's
Mahomes,
the dumbest fucking analogy.
10
Why
years
would
from
they
now
ever
when he's
do that to
finally
Patrick
old
Mahomes?
and he can't do anything,
Why would they ever do that to Patrick Mahomes?
they
Be serious.
they
Come up
literally
with
did it
better
to Tom
analogies.
Brady. They
Come up
found
with
a way
better
to get him out
analogies.
of there. What are we talking about? What are we talking
Injury
about?
clause?
What are you?
They gave Tom Brady a dummy contract. Lonnie, you was there. What are we talking
What does
about?
that have to do with anything we're talking about?
Yeah, that's the difference. So
Look, the fact that y'all are okay with an organization walking up to a player and saying, waive your injury clause or else we will bench you, even though you're playing well enough. We're in a playoff race.
That's the best thing to do. I don't disagree, Random, but they did not want him there.
It don't matter. So the fact that he was playing well enough, you're in the middle of a playoff
That's a
race.
nice way of saying, hey, you're getting cut. Hey, we don't want you.
You can still cut him. What are we talking about? You can still cut him. You can still cut him or trade him.
They did. That's what they did.
Yeah, but you don't do it the way they did it. That's horrible business. What are we talking about?
I don't disagree.
I don't know. I feel like they're in a better spot now than they were with Russell.
With
Wilson.
Zach Wilson?
No, see, you're short-sighted. Now that Russell Wilson's no longer on the team, that is huge for the team moving forward. They
They're
can
still
finally
paying
move
$90
past.
million in dead cash.
I know. They're gonna have to eventually get through it. But one, having Russell Wilson out the door, put you in position to get your next quarterback. One, it also puts you in a position to not have that diva in the locker room. There's a disconnect between Russell Wilson and the rest of the organization. They want to move forward from that entire situation.
When I saw
now they will
Broncos
be able to
players
do
coming
that
out and
when they
supporting
draft
Russell
Bo
Wilson
Nix
last
or
year,
Russell or
amid what the
Penix.
organization
Or
was
they
doing
don't
to
even
him, it
draft
was
a QB
wrong.
this year, and
It
they
was
just get
wrong
they
what they
go
did
for
to him.
Shador, or like
It was
I
wrong
don't
what
care.
they did to him.
next year.
I don't care. I'm gonna be honest, Random.
That's
He
ridiculous.
has crazy money in his bank account. He'll be fine.
So just because you have crazy money doesn't mean you accept
So
bad
Crimea
disrespect.
River, I don't care about you
Still
getting
getting
benched.
paid.
Like what?
He's still getting
I don't
paid.
care.
The fact that y'all never mind. We'll
He's
just go on
still
to the next
getting
topic. This is
paid.
It wasn't
ridiculous.
like this
It's
guy
not
was
like he's not getting
balling his
paid.
ass out. He
It
was
don't matter if you're
mad
getting
at
paid or not. It's how they're treating you. What are we talking about?
how he was acting first. What are we talking about?
Yeah,
The
and
only
then he
reason why they were in the
fixed it
situation
well
they were
enough
in.
to play well enough
Russell
for his
Wilson-
team to be.
And then
so
what
his
happened
team,
the year
so
before
his team
when
was
they
not in the
gave
middle of
him
a playoff
Juno-
race.
What
he
happened the
fix-
year
did he
before?
fix his
What
attitude,
happened
or
the
did he
year
fix his
before?
Yeah,
They
and
gave
then
him crazy
they
money.
fixed it.
Those are
They
two
fixed it well
different
enough to be in the middle of a playoff race
He
for
didn't
y'all.
fix it. Sean Payton fixed it. But
Yes, that's
owning
what
Russell
they
Wilson
means.
down.
That's
He
what they
fixed it.
means in
No,
Sean
Russell
Payton.
We don't know what's
Russell
going on
Wilson
in the back of
started
the
it.
locker room. We don't know what happened. We
They
don't
had
know if he was
multiple
still acting
Broncos
like an
players come out to
asshole.
defend him. What are we talking about? Multiple Broncos
throughout his
players
whole
amid
career.
all that came out to defend him. Why would they just do that? Why would they just do that?
Seahawks players came in slandering his name. So
Yeah, that's true. Years ago, what the Broncos players say is more pertinent now because they just played with them.
Russell Wilson played like ass.
last year.
What are they
Yeah,
gonna
last
say?
year he did, not this year. You like you said it yourself. He was mid. He was good enough. The Broncos were in the middle of playoff contention, and then you sell the rest of the season. What are we talking
They weren't
about?
going nowhere. We see teams tank all the time.
That's crazy. That's crazy work. That's crazy work.
Not
Let's just move
really.
on to
You're
the next
telling
topic.
me. You're telling me.
I hear Patriot fans say it all the time.
You're
Yo,
telling
Tank,
me
we need a good pick. We have people, Pittsburgh fans saying, "Oh, why we keep on going to the playoffs?" That happens all the time. I mean, I don't know what you expect. There's a no direction for a Russell Wilson team. None.
They were cutting
No
him at the
direction.
end of the season anyway. We all talked about that. But when you have a chance to make the playoffs, and you walk up to your starting quarterback, no matter if you like him or not, and you tell him to waive your injury clause, which is wrong, by the way,
It is
which
wrong.
is absolutely
Crimea
wrong
River,
and
it
disgusting.
happened.
Man, it's
It's
messed
absolutely
up.
wrong and disgusting. And then you
Messed up.
bench him when you have a chance to make the playoffs. He's not playing nearly as bad as he did the year before.
I
And you
agree.
bench him. That's wrong. That's absolutely wrong.
So let's try to think about this logically.
Crimea River.
What else besides the benching and everything, like what would probably be a reason why they just want him out the way? What would be a reason why they just want him out the way? Because it's
For
at that
what
point,
they
it's too
paid
late
him,
for
Lonnie, he
everything.
was not
Let me
playing
finish.
well enough.
Let me
But he
finish.
was.
This is
But you had a
Lonnie
check.
Henry. This is Lonnie
Grant,
Henry.
am I lying? Did the Broncos was Russell Wilson not playing well enough? Or did at the
I'm
time
getting
before they
somewhere.
benched
I'm
him? Did they
getting
not have
somewhere,
a chance to
Random.
make the
Answer your
playoffs before they
question. I'm gonna answer your question,
before they
Random.
benched him?
I gotta answer your question, Random. So he's playing well. They're starting to get momentum. So what would cause them to be like, yo, we need to get this guy out of here? I don't know. Maybe the same bullshit that he's been doing behind the scenes since the beginning of this.
Then why did multiple
Maybe they
Broncos
got
players
sick
come out
of
and
it.
support him after that? Why did multiple Broncos players come out and support him after that?
I have to see the context of the support because I feel
Yeah,
like
I need to see context.
I'm
of
not
the
gonna lie.
sport.
Okay.
Two, at the
Because
same
I've
time,
seen actual quotes of people talking crap about Russell Wilson. That's
Yeah.
what I
Yeah,
at the
from
same
years
time,
ago.
they're in the
That's
middle of
fine.
winning. They're in the middle of winning, so they're willing to. So some of them might be willing to put up with his bullshit, but the front office, the people in charge, they're like, "Yo, we're really sick of this guy. We're really sick of this guy because we all know Russell has an inflated ass ego. So if they start winning, guess what? Now maybe he started trying to do what he was doing the year before, trying to be all cocky, trying to be like he was in charge of everything. And they're like, you know what? We need this guy out of here. So that happens. We like what? This year we saw Grant Williams. He wasn't playing terrible. He wasn't playing great, but next thing you know, he got traded immediately. Why? Because he was a cancer behind the scenes with the teammates and with this front office and with the coach and all that.
with the Maverick.
They all wanted him gone. Not because
I'm
of
literally looking on Sports Illustrated right now, saying ESPN reveals Russell Wilson's benching left some Broncos pissed. It's
Okay.
not right what they're
Is that a
doing.
quote? Is that a quote from some
Okay.
people?
I want to be clear
Give
in
me
my
the
position.
player.
I want to be.
Give me
I
the
want to be
player that
very.
actually said that.
Hold on. I want to be very
So
clear.
you want
in
to
my-
start from scratch, but your first move is to go get Zach Wilson. That's crazy, bro.
That's not a good take.
Why did they get him then? Why did they get him?
Taking for
I mean,
Shador.
that QB room is trash with Zach Wilson.
They're not.
It was
paying- they're not
trash
gonna pay
anyway.
Zach
So
Wilson they're not going to pay
that
Zach
seems
Wilson.
that seems like let's have a project while we're taking for Shador. That's what that looks like to me.
No.
I think
Let
they're going
Zach
to draft
Wilson
the
the superior
quarterback
to
in
the
the first
wasteland and
round.
start somebody else.
Anyway, competition's healthy. Ultimately,
Wilson's the worst
the
quarterback
very,
in the
very
oh my
They're
god,
because they're tanking random. I don't know how.
They're the worst quarterback in the league. He shouldn't even have
yeah.
a roster
So
spot.
He is
What?
not the worst quarterback in the league.
He's
There's
the
worse
worst
quarterbacks than Zach
That makes
Wilson.
common sense. That 1 + 1 = 2. Hey, I want to tank. Let me get the worst quarterback. Let me get the worst player at the most important position because I want to tank.
Zach Wilson's not the worst quarterback. I mean, we see teams go all the time. They get someone.
Zach Wilson is the worst.
No, he's not. Desmond
literally
Ritter,
the worst
is way
quarterback
than
in the
Zach
league.
Wilson. He's not the
I
worst.
think-
quarterback.
Literally the worst.
Literally,
quarterback
the Jaguars traded for Mac Jones, and another team traded for Desmond Ritter.
Mac
It
Jones was
happens
literally
all the time.
sabotaged by his
I
head
don't know what
coach.
what point you're trying to make.
Mac Jones was
People
literally
trade for
sabotaged by his
bad
head coach.
young
Zach
quarterbacks
Wilson,
all the time.
Mac
want
Jones showed
competition.
potential. Zach Wilson has never shown potential.
Out of here, bro.
He literally helped this team get to the playoffs.
There's no way we're doing this, bro.
Zach Wilson has never done that.
There's no way we're doing this, bro. There's no
Y'all
way
bring
we-
up different drives in the Chiefs
no way we're
game.
doing
That's all they got.
There's no way we're
Hey,
doing this.
potential.
We're making excuses for Mac Jones, but Zach Wilson is the worst pick of all.
So Zach
get out of
Wilson
here,
was
bro.
given a defensive coordinator to call his plays.
Get out of here, bro. I don't care.
That's the
Robert Saleh is the defensive coach. What are you talking about?
That's not the guy calling his plays,
Daniel
Riddell.
Hackett was dog shit on the Broncos.
He's still better than Matt Patricia, Riddell. He's
The
still
Broncos had
better.
the worst offense in the league last
He's
year. What are you
still-
talking about?
So Zach Wilson was heading it. Zach Wilson is bad. What are we
The
doing?
Broncos were
It's-
the
it's
worst
red.
offense.
Hey.
Russell Wilson, Nathaniel
Larry,
Hackett,
Zach
this versus
Wilson
this is
was
what we're doing
worse.
right now. By the way, don't
Grant,
drink pride.
Grant, you got like a 50 on your test, but I got a 45. So guess what? I'm just more trash. We
Russell
both
Wilson was
failed.
way
but I'm just
better
both
than Zach
trash.
I don't know
Wilson.
what
Because
excuses
I'm
we're trying
worse.
to make. Like, I don't know what point random's
I
trying
wish
to make.
J-Rob was here. Maybe he'd educate y'all on how bad Zach
You-
Wilson
I'm like 50-50 on it.
This is
Yo,
ridiculous.
crazy enough, I'll tell you exactly what J-Rob would say. He would say, both of them are trash. That's what he would say. Both of them are trash,
The fact
which
that-
is
never
true.
mind.
They're
Never
both
mind.
trash. So you're not
Never
making a
mind.
point.
One of them you can legitimately point
What's the
to having a
practice with
defensive
heroin?
coordinator call his plays and coach his O-line. The other one was
That's
just
what I'm
never
saying,
good.
Brian. I don't know
He was
what
never
random
good.
point
He was
Random
never
point
even
right
mid.
now.
Mac Jones was at
What was
least
more
mid
trash?
his first year. He was at least mid his first year.
Oh my god, we're defending.
At least
Mac
helped this team get to the
Jones. Are we
playoffs. Zach
serious?
Wilson has never done that.
Are we
Never in
serious?
his life.
This is disgusting. bro.
Never in his life has Zach Wilson done that. Am I lying, Riddell? Am I lying? Or are you gonna
Your
turn your
point is
representative
irrelevant.
Riddell and
I'll
say
be-
you don't care? Am I lying, Riddell?
Your point is irrelevant.
How is it irrelevant,
Point is
Riddell?
irrelevant.
Did Mac Jones help
Is
this team
Matt
get to the
Jones
playoffs,
trash?
Riddell?
Yes or no? Is
Yes,
Matt Jones trash?
Okay.
Yes, but
Then what
Zach
point are
Wilson
you making?
is
You're
worse.
just talking. You're just
Zach
talking.
Wilson is worse.
You're just talking. Like, I don't know what you're trying
Zach
to
Wilson
make.
is worse. Zach
Okay,
Wilson is
they're
worse.
both trash though. So what
They're
does it
both-
matter?
they're
What does
trash.
it matter? They're both.
The fact, look, Zach Wilson had all the
if you
opportunities.
get a 50 and I get a 35, we
But
still failed the test.
okay, on the
That's what I'm
test,
saying.
okay,
What
if
are
it's
we-
a math
this point
test,
is
but they
being
call the
made right
Spanish
now.
teacher to teach you math, of course you're gonna do bad on the math test, Lonnie.
Guess what? We still failed. So we're in the same boat.
fuck?
We're still in the
What
same
are we
boat.
doing here?
We're still in the same. Are we not in the same boat?
So the fact that the Spanish teacher was teaching you math doesn't
How
matter.
you got here, random. We're still in the same boat. It doesn't matter how you got here. We're still in the same boat. The result is still a result.
Go ahead. Keep giving. Wow.
You
Go
need to
ahead,
talk to
keep
a
giving
therapist.
that man
Nobody's giving
all the
anything.
bail out in
We're
the world.
both- we're
That's
saying
crazy.
they're both trash. You're trying to make excuses.
No,
We're
I'm not
saying they're
making
both
excuses.
trash.
That literally happened. Who
Who cares? They're still both trash.
You guys are crazy. You guys are both crazy. Let's move on to the next topic.
All right,
Let's
bro.
just move on to the next topic.
You need a. I feel like you need to hug Mac Jones. Like
No,
facts.
I just understand what was done to him.
Yeah.
It's your team, Lonnie, and the fact that you just disavow what happened to him is crazy.
What are you talking disavow? I agree. It doesn't mean he's not trash anymore.
I'm not
Still
saying,
trash.
but the fact that you can legitimately point to that moment, the moment that they hired Matt Patricia to call his plays and coach his O-line, he was never the same. Zach
He was
Wilson never had that. You can
What
say
happened
Nathaniel
after
Hackett
he
all you want. Nathaniel Hackett is way better than Matt
Sabotage.
Patricia is at calling plays,
Is
even if
he?
he's bad or not.
Is he? Is Nathaniel Hackett way better than calling?
Yes,
plays?
because Matt Patricia's even bad at what he's good at. He's bad at that too.
What?
He's bad at what he's supposedly good at. So what Matt Patricia did for the Eagles last year as a defensive coordinator really moved you, right?
How does that change the result? How does that change the result?
Yeah,
Because one guy was clearly sabotaged, the other one was just trash from the start.
Nathaniel Hackett was trash. The offensive coordinator before Nathaniel Hackett was trash.
At this point in
Zach
time,
Wilson had two trash coordinators.
They're trash.
What are we
So all
talking
that
about?
bad shit doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything because at this point in time, they're
I'm
both
never
trash.
gonna let
They're
that
both
not
at the
be
bottom of the barrel
stated.
right now. I'm not
The
talking
Hall
about
of
a few
the
years
arguably
ago.
greatest
Right
coach of
now,
all
they're
time
at the bottom of
thought
the
that
barrel.
getting a
That
defensive
doesn't
coordinator
mean
to teach his
anything
young
right
quarterback how to play offense and then ruin them and blame them for it was crazy. I'm never not
If
gonna
you
let
did a
that
car
happen
crash,
because I was a
Cool.
goddamn
leg,
crime.
Jones
This
is
is
still trash.
2024,
Mac
not
Jones is still
1965.
Matt Jones
What are we
is still
talking
trash.
about?
Matt Jones is still trash.
Let's move on. We're
Still
moving
trash.
on to the mock draft. Jesus Christ.
Excuses for nothing, bro.
It's not excuses.
Straight up.
What actually happened. It's what actually happened.
When you say things that's not relevant to the point we're making,
It is absolutely relevant to where Mac Jones is right now. It is absolutely relevant. It is absolutely relevant.
So random. This is exactly what you're telling me. I got it. So I jumped off a building. I hurt myself, and I jumped off. Follow me here. I jumped off. I did it on myself. I lost my leg. I lost my leg from an injury. I did it to myself. That's Zach Wilson. He was trash because of him. You're driving a car. Someone sideswipes you, like someone T-bones you. You lose your leg because of somebody else. We're still in the hospital with one leg. It doesn't matter how we
But
got.
guess what? People are roasting the guy who jumped off the building. People are not roasting the guy who was T-boned. What are we talking about?
I mean, I might.
Wow.
So that's why you're a villain.
That's
What are we doing?
They're both trash. And let's not pretend that Zach Wilson had these great
They
offensive
both have one
situations.
goddamn leg. It doesn't matter how they
Patriots
lost.
were worse.
At this point,
They're
The
both
Patriots
bad.
were worse.
They both were trash. They were both trash.
Garrett Wilson clears literally everybody on the Patriots offense. What are we talking about?
What?
Or Garrett Wilson by himself clears everybody on the Patriots offense. Are we lying now, Riddell?
No, I never said you were lying. Garrett Wilson, fine. But when it came to that offense, they didn't have good offensive coaching the entire tenure of Zach Wilson. The offensive line was actually disgustingly bad. So after Garrett Wilson, they had no other offensive weapons.
I can't.
So let's not pretend the Zach Wilson situation was perfect.
He was still bad. He was still bad. He was a worse quarterback in the
league.
Like
Matt Jones.
Well, to be fair, they did not prepare for the fact that A-Rod
and trash player.
To be fair, they did not prepare for the fact for A-Rod to completely blow his Achilles the first game of the season. They had built that whole offensive system. Oh, you're talking about the year before? Okay,
yeah. Because even the years before, Zach Wilson
just sucked in general.
Good offensive coaching.
From the moment he stepped on the field, he was bad.
Well,
at least Mac Jones' first year, he was
BYU.
That's not true. He had
from the moment he stepped on the field in the NFL.
He had games where I could say that.
Congratulations, Mac Jones. You were good for a little bit. Congratulations. I'm
sorry. Still better than anything Zach Wilson can.
Zach Wilson 100% had games where they thought that this guy would be the quarterback of the future. It's not until what
name me those games. Go find those games for me, Riddell.
Well, the Chiefs game, one.
So what? Because he had 2 drives.
I just said name you a game, and I named you a game. Then you bring up something else.
The Chiefs game because he had 2 drives, and
Riddell,
let's not start capping. The minute Aaron Rodgers was healthy,
bro,
Zach
Wilson
was
name
going
me
to
a
the
game.
bench.
I name a
what
game,
are we
and
talking
then
about?
Oh no, I don't like that game.
Find me the quote where somebody said Zach Wilson was going to be the future after the Chiefs game. Find me that quote. To start asking me for quotes for Broncos players, find me the quote where somebody's saying that about Zach Wilson.
I never said there was a quote.
You literally said that. You literally said that, Riddell.
Find me a quote that someone actually complimented him on the Broncos. Actual player. Find me an actual player saying that, I wanted him to stay. Please find me that quote.
I'm tempted to say.
Until then, let's do this mock draft. Who's going first?
I'll go first.
Yeah, we can go first.
It's Caleb Williams first, and this should not even be a discussion. I'm tired of this stupid, baseless, logical argument that the Bears shouldn't draft Caleb Williams for this or that or blah, blah, blah. He is the best quarterback in this draft, period. Draft him. You traded Justin to Pittsburgh. It's over. All those people who are acting dumb, and you know who I'm talking about, Coach JBO or whoever the hell you are on your podcast. Caleb is the first pick.
I saw Pete Briscoe say that the Bears should draft Jaden Daniels first.
Oh,
and then Caleb goes to Washington. And I'm like, Pete.
People are just dumb at this point. And
At this point, Caleb has been on top for so long.
NFL draft analysts have become gossip girls. I swear to God. It's literally become, oh my God, did you see Caleb Williams painted his nail? Who cares? He can play football. That's all that should matter. Y'all constantly want to look at outside facts.
That's it. Because deep down he wants.
Thank you.
He's from DC. He's from DC. He has deep ties in DC. It's where he went. It's where he grew up. It's where he went to high school. All that.
That sucks. He can visit it when they play the Commanders. All right. He's not leaving. He's not leaving Detroit in anything but a Chicago Bears uniform. They're building. You saw the mock-up for their new stadium by the lake, right? Yeah, they're doing that because Caleb's coming. It looks nice too.
They planned that years ago. They
did that years ago.
I understand they're doing it years ago. All of a sudden they're announcing it because they're getting the next great guy.
And plus, because they got $200,000 worth of equipment stolen. But hey, who?
Yeah, they whatever. All right. Riddell, the second pick. What are the Commanders doing?
Just because I'm petty, Zach Wilson in his rookie year, game 4, 300 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. First game of his career, 250 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Who did he play?
To say that he didn't see flashes, they played the who is this one?
Yo, Riddell,
the Titans.
Chill, bro.
2 years ago. Oh yeah, we're being petty right now. 2 years ago, and in the first game he played the Panthers 2 years ago. The 2 year ago Panthers and 2 year ago Titans.
I like rubbed off on him a little bit. No diddy.
Hey yo.
So it's just disingenuous to say Zach Wilson didn't show flashes. Is he trash? Yes, but he did show flashes. 100%. Second pick.
Oh, this is crazy. Hold up. No. Since we're being petty, against Zach Wilson.
Let it go.
No. We're being petty. Against Zach Wilson 2 years ago, Mac Jones throws for 307 yards, 2 touchdowns, blew out Zach Wilson.
What point is this proving? Lonnie, can you tell me what point this is he's proving?
No.
No, I'm curious. What is the point you're proving right now?
Ironically, against the Titans. Shout out to the Titans for popping up both 310 yards and 2 touchdowns against the Titans.
Lonnie, did I ever say Mac Jones didn't show flashes? Did I ever say Matt Jones didn't show flashes?
No, we being petty, right?
Did that come out of my mouth?
No, we're being petty, right? No, we'll be petty.
I agree. On this, I'm with you. He. The thing is, Random doesn't want Mac Jones to be trash, and I understand that.
I understand why he's trash.
But you don't accept. But you still get mad and just talk about how
because y'all do not acknowledge what happened to Mac Jones. Y'all do not acknowledge it at all.
In the last 20 minutes.
Y'all do not acknowledge it at all. It's a goddamn crime what happened to him. I understand he's trash. I'm not defending him. He's trash. He got traded from the Patriots for a reason.
I can agree with you, and you'll still crash out about it.
No, I'm not crashing. The fact that y'all keep letting what happened to him just slide off is crazy. That's something that happened in the 60s.
Like a 5-hour dissertation about it.
I'm not letting y'all forget that. I'm not letting Bill Belichick defenders forget that. That's ridiculous what he did.
Do you want to make a documentary about it?
No, I'm not making a documentary, but whenever people talk about that has to be mentioned.
You want to kidnap Matt Patricia, then we interrogate him about it?
No, we know he's bad. He's even bad in defense. So who thought it was a good idea to let him pick the offense?
Let it go. Don't talk about Mac Jones the rest of the day.
Facts.
As long as y'all keep it a stat. Had all the context, we chilling.
Why can't I put a link in the chat, bro?
What are y'all boys? What's up?
What's good, Manny? I'm trying to send a link to Brandon so he can pull up.
I'll send it to him. I don't know why it's not working.
Well,
yeah, Brandon, pull up.
Random, not random, Riddell, that's your pick.
Yeah, when in doubt, I don't care what the agent says. The Washington Commanders are drafting Jaden Daniels.
The Jaden.
I want Jaden.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Why would they not take Jaden?
I'm the biggest Jaden fan, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I think Commanders. I look. Feel like the Raiders are gonna go to 2. That's just me, but.
All right. So Lonnie, before you go, because I want to do this specifically for your Patriots, the reports have come out that the Patriots have not been getting substantial offers for the 3rd pick. So it looks like they're going to pick a player here, unless something happens in the last hour.
But from what I just read a little bit before the show is that they are very enamored with 2 second-tier quarterbacks, which means 2nd round.
Drake May is right there.
I know, but I'm saying based off what I've read, based on how they operate, give me Marvin Harrison Jr.
Lonnie,
My
Drake May is right there.
Lonnie, what are you doing?
I'm saying based on
What
what they're
would-
going to do.
We do JD at 2. What are we doing?
Wow. Okay. All right.
It's not what I want. Drake May.
You can't do trades in it. You can't do trades.
No, you can do trades, but for Manny, from what we've seen, the Patriots have not received substantial good enough offers for them for the third pick, so it looks like they're gonna pick a player.
Oh, so go Drake.
Nah,
Please go Drake.
it's Lonnie's. Hey, Lonnie was up. He said the Patriots are taking Marvin Harrison Jr.
all right, man.
I'm just saying, based off the reports I just read, they like some second. They're really into some second tier quarterbacks
Drake
right
May
now.
is right there. This isn't Bill Belichick drafting anymore. The
Hey,
Patriots Drake May is right there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
Also,
I
random. Switch me and
Somebody
Manny
reports that
because
they're
I was
gonna
just
go
like,
after Bo Nix in the
have
second
it go in
round.
order. Yeah, there you go.
Like Bo Nix or like Spencer Rattler, those are like some of their targets for a quarterback.
Oh my God, this is not a time to be looking for value. Take Drake May.
I'm not the Patriots. If I'm there, I'm taking Drake.
Nah, you were the Patriots.
You were
picked
the
Marvin.
Patriots, and you
I'm
picked
going off what
Marvin.
I think is gonna actually happen.
And you
This
picked
is
Marvin.
disgusting work.
All right,
What
Manny.
I think is gonna happen.
Manny,
Not what I want.
you
Fuck,
are
bro.
up. You are the
Well, I mean, you are,
Arizona
you know,
Cardinals.
not-
Their number one pick in Marvin Harrison Jr. has been taken. What do the Cardinals do?
They trade back. They trade back.
Who are they trading back with?
Let me see. They're trading back.
Is it with the Vikings?
Yeah, let's go. Let me go Giants.
Ooh, they're trading back with the Giants.
Yeah.
Jesus, there we go. Trade. Oh, look at this. They already have okay, so they're trading back with the Giants. They're getting 6. What else are they getting?
Why would the Giants move up to 4?
To get
To take
fucking Drake.
JJ.
To
take
fucking
Drake.
Because they need a quarterback.
Actually,
They're getting
that's a good
fucking
point. I
Drake.
forgot about Drake. Yeah, that's a
Trade
good
the
point.
pick
I
with John. Trade the pick
I forgot he wasn't drafted. I'm not gonna lie.
and take Drake with the Giants pick. That's
All right, so I'm just gonna do the first round trades. I'm not trying to figure out the exact compensation. Right?
Yeah, don't worry
it's
about
okay,
it.
it's cool. Yeah, you don't got to do compensation.
I feel like the Vikings will offer more though.
Well, they have 2 picks.
That's
They
what
have
I'm
2
saying.
first round picks, so that's why I'm thinking the Vikings. The Giants have to give up multiple first round picks to even.
But hey, it's Manny's pick.
So they're trading.
I mean, if you look at the Cardinals, the best chance for them is to trade back. But I think the Vikings. I think the Vikings do the next pick. I think they trade with the Chargers. I don't think they trade with them.
So the Giants trade up with the Cardinals,
Yeah, and they get Drake.
and they get Drake May.
Oh my God! Please, God, bro, send Drake May to New York.
So now the Chargers are on the clock. Grant, what are the Chargers doing?
So I got a crazy. I'll be nasty. I got them trading with Minnesota, and the Vikings get the number 5 pick, and the Chargers getting the number 11 and 23 plus a 2025 first round pick.
Look,
And
Yeah.
they go
we're just gonna do the first round this one, but I
right.
like where you're going.
and
okay?
they get JJ. And they get JJ.
Yeah, they get
All
JJ.
right.
Yeah,
I think
they
I
have-
think they get JJ though. I really do.
They
think
cannot go into this season with Sam Darnold as your quarterback. I am sorry. I don't know. They need JJ. JJ is what everyone been telling me. JJ's not this, not that. I watched JJ play every single game this season. He is going to fit like a knife in a butter with that Minnesota Vikings offense.
They
I'm not
paid
saying
Sam
JJ
Darnold
Dennis.
like he's going to be the
JJ
conditional starter.
won't be good because I actually like some of JJ's game. I do think he needs more time to develop. But Jetta says he wants to be thrown. He wants a top tier QB. Is he going to settle for JJ McCarthy?
I think the Vikings would much rather trade up to get Drake May. Personally,
Drake May's. So let's look at the first 5 picks again. If the Patriots shock the draft and take Marvin Harrison Jr., the Vikings are trading up to 4.
Oh, the Giants are trading up. The Giants are trading.
I
up.
think the Vikings
cannot
are
match
just going to
the
offer
Vikings are
more than the Cardinals.
Bro,
Because
the team that I really think is gonna trade up is the Raiders, but it's gonna happen tomorrow.
But I'm just talking
But
about
nobody in the
value,
draft.
because the Vikings have 2 first round picks that they
in
can
this
put
draft
right in front of your
alone.
face.
In this draft alone,
I mean,
nobody can
if y'all want, y'all could switch my pick. I mean, if y'all
No,
want,
you
but I
can't
really
switch
think they'll do that.
Can't.
No, we're not
I
switching
really
none.
do think they'll do it with the Chargers.
No,
All
it's
right,
fine.
I really
it's
do
fine.
think they'll do it with the Chargers, though. I really think they'll either trade with the Chargers, but I think the Giants, they'll do a pick swap with the Cardinals and a first rounder, and they could just get the receiver at 6.
So, because I think legitimately at this point, from everything we've heard about the Vikings, they love JJ. So
Yeah,
would
they suck him off.
They
would
also
they-
love
would-
Drake May. They just don't think Drake May is a realistic option.
That's why I'm sitting there. That's why I was shocked when Manny said the Giants trade up instead of the Vikings. But it's
Yeah.
done.
You gotta
Hey, the
realize
top-
though, the Giants want QB2, bro. They're trying to trade into the top 3, bro. They're one of
I
the
got
teams that are
you,
trying.
Manny. I got you, Manny. But nobody can match what the Vikings can offer. Nobody.
I forgot they had 2 first rounders. I ain't gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
It's all good. It's all good.
All good. So the top 5 picks, we have 2 trade up because the Patriots shock the world and take Marvin Harrison Jr.
Hey, it's open field. We gotta make it interesting.
Nah, you could have had
Alright.
the first 5 picks slam, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Riddell, the Cardinals are back on the clock. What do they get? Malik Neighbors is right there. They need a lot of things. Joe Alt is there. Odunze is there.
They have
What
their left
do
tackle. They have their left tackle for the future.
what do the Cardinals do? Or do they trade back again?
Nah, they get Malik Neighbors. The Cardinals have been talking about how Malik they consider 1A, 1B with Marvin Harrison Jr. So if they can move back in the draft and still get Malik, they're happy.
So the Titans are now on the clock, Lonnie. What do the Titans do?
Another easy ass pick.
You think that's an easy ass pick because they talking about going offense heavy, not tackle. They talking about offense.
I think you need to protect Mr.
you
Mayo,
need-
man.
They do need to protect him, but they might go all. They might go all.
I think Joe Alt is there. You take him.
I
There's
feel
so
like
many
I feel
receivers
like
in
that's
this
an
draft.
automatic
You take
pick.
him.
I think he's already getting fitted for his helmet.
Yeah,
Even-
Joe
even-
All consensus Titan pick, bro.
Yeah, even
like
look
the
at
Chargers.
Tyrell, man. He said we taking Alt, bro.
Because the Titans
Take
have one
all,
of the
bro. I'm a
3
Notre Dame
worst
fan.
offensive
Alt
line in
in this
football.
scenario, as a Notre Dame fan, Alt after he allowed only 2 sacks his past 2 seasons at Notre Dame. He's gonna be the only guy that I think can protect Will Levis. Tennessee allowed 64 sacks last season. That was 4th most in the league. You need somebody to protect Will Levis. I'm
You
sorry.
can with so many receivers in this draft, you can find another one.
They don't need another one.
got
They have
D-Hop
Calvin Ridley and DeAndre Hopkins.
And they got they still
Treylon
have
Burks.
They still have Burks, who hopefully will develop into something.
And they got a tight end who's pretty solid in
Okonkwo. I like him. I like him a lot.
I like their tight end. So like
I like him a
I think
lot.
they're gonna go. I think Joe Alt just
Who got the
He's the
next
pick.
pick?
You do, Manny. The
All right, go,
Falcons are
go
on the
Turner,
clock.
go Dallas Turner.
Dallas Turner.
I
They go
agree.
edge. They go edge.
Okay, over Terrion Arnold.
Yes.
They go
Okay.
edge.
Dallas Turner. And then the Bears are back on the
They
clock.
got a
just
Kuda.
take
I mean,
Rome.
they just got a Kuda his thing. They gonna be all right.
Grant, did they? Do they just take Rome since he's there? You did see that picture
You
of
take
Caleb and Rome
since
at the
he's
draft.
there. Imagine that offense stacked up with all those pieces, and now you just add Rome Odunze to the mix, bro.
You did see that picture of them at the draft. They may know a little something that we don't know.
Just make the smart move. Draft Rome.
I think the
he's
smart
there.
move is moving back in the draft. That's what I think.
yeah. It's either that or I would actually take let's say-
Take Rome. Take Rome.
I take
I would
it.
You move back in the draft. I mean, Rome is not a bad option because all things considered, Keenan Allen is not going to play after this year. He's only going to be here for like a year, so I get it. But you could get a receiver later, move back, and shore up other places such as that offensive line. And
But
that
they literally
defensive
got
line.
DJ Moore and DJ Moore 2.0 on their team.
Well, Grant, it's Grant's pick. What do the
Take
Bears
Rome. Take Rome.
The
If he's
Bears.
there, you snatch him. There's nothing else you need because you're gonna need somebody to put up on that offense. And with the weapons,
you got
have-
Cole Komet. You got Cole Komet. I mean, he not.
I mean,
trash.
yeah, but
He's not
you
Bowers,
add Rome with Keenan Allen on that offense.
yeah,
and
Keenan
DJ
can play-
Moore.
Keenan can play the slot. Keenan can play the slot, and you can have Rome play the X, bro.
All right,
No, for
Riddell, the New York Jets are up. Do
Oh, that's
they
easy
do what
pick.
J-Rob
That's an
Loki
easy
wants them to
pick.
do and take Brock Bowers?
That's
What
an
do-
easy
What do they do?
Pick. That's the easiest pick of your life.
You say that, but I can 100% see them going offensive tackle. Not
What?
Brock Bowers. Oh, for sure. I can see them going tackle. not
Actually, hold
Brock
up. Time out.
They're
I'm
not-
calling an audible because this is Manny's team. Manny,
Bowers. All right.
who what does your team do?
My team.
I
drops
wasn't
back.
giving the Giants.
They
Crazy.
pick twice.
Oh, that's right.
My
No.
team
Never
drafts
mind,
Bob
Manny.
Bowers
Never
and
mind.
they
I
don't
was
think he's
wrong.
white.
I was wrong.
You
No, I
fine,
was
bro.
wrong.
I understand. You got to learn
Riddell,
to
I am in the
talk.
interest of fairness. Okay, so never mind. Riddell, you're back. You're back up.
No,
I
I'm gonna
apologize.
give you Brock Bowers though, Manny. Don't worry about it.
Brock Bowers is going to the
Oh,
Jets.
he's going to the Jets. Oh, that's fucking stamped already, bro.
All right, Lonnie.
Blew
The
him out
Chargers
4
are back
times?
on the clock. What do the Chargers do? They only have 2 receivers right now.
No, you don't go receiver.
They only
no,
have,
you
they
Help
only
that
have 2
fucking
receivers in their
offense, bro,
on their
please.
team right
You,
now.
you go tackle. You go
What do they-
tackle here.
Yeah,
They
I
do.
would go tackle.
Yeah, you go Olu Fashanu.
That's what I was saying because I didn't.
Or Fuaga, either or.
I
So you
would
got
go
Fuaga.
Olu.
No, I'm going for Shanu. I like for Shanu. Like he's a I don't know. He's How do I describe him? He's a monster. He still has some mechanics I want him to like work on, like in some of like when it comes to some of his hands. But no, he's what like 6'6". I think he's more like 6'7", 330, 319 is being nice.
Nah, he's a beast.
But
Bottom line, Fashanu is not only incredibly talented, but will also be one of the youngest prospects
At
in the
Penn
2024
State.
draft.
At Penn State, he was a dog.
I'm not gonna lie though, he got mollywopped by Latu. Not Latu. Who the fuck he played this year? He got fucking absolutely obliterated.
but he doesn't have to be the best tackle because Slater's still a top 5 tackle in the league.
You technically could go JC Latham to play the right tackle, to be honest. But
Well, you could what you could do as Slater gets older, you just flip him. That's what the Bucks did with Tristan Wirfs.
Slater's not that old, I don't think.
Well, you assume that you're going to get them both for a long time.
Yeah.
So eventually, you just maybe as Fasanu reaches his prime, you just flip him. So now you just have an amazing right tackle with. If I'm just using Tristan Wirfs as an example.
But Slater prefers to play. I think Slater plays right tackle.
Oh,
I thought he played left.
Fasanu your left tackle.
What picks this? What picks this? The
This
Chargers?
is the 11th pick, the Chargers.
Oh yeah,
Lonnie,
take
so
Fashanu. Take Olu. Take Olu.
Yeah, I'm going with Shanu.
All right, Manny, you have the Broncos.
Oh,
What-
I got the Broncos now. This is where it gets freaking interesting.
You get that white boy?
Do I get that white boy? But this is where I'm gonna turn the table. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I think they go quarterback, but I don't think they go both.
Who do they get? Penix?
They go MP9.
Penix.
They take
I'm
Penix.
going MP9. MP9 got draft stock rising right now like a boy. I'm going MP9. Well, they said they have to be blown away to take a quarterback, but who the fuck are you gonna play at quarterback?
Draft season, every NFL team be capping, so it's all right.
Yeah, I know, man.
Grant, you have the Raiders. What do the Raiders do? They lost out on Michael Penix, who could have been somebody they wanted. So what did they do?
I'll be back.
I feel like with me, there's so many options that you could go with, but I think that this is gonna be a crazy pick. JC Latham from Alabama, because I'm not feeling like a team is going to use that top 15 pick on Knicks or Michael Penix yet. And I think they can target the offensive line and plug Latham right next to Colton Miller. And Latham is a mauler. Like he has rare power and he's really good movement for 342 pounds.
So Grant, real quick, are you saying that the Raiders possibly go get Bo or Spencer in the second round instead of right now?
Yes, that's
Okay.
what
If I'm them at this point, I'm going for Rattler in the second round.
That's probably what's gonna happen. The thing is, the Raiders have their eyes on one guy, and that's Michael Penix. If he's
I've been thinking about it a lot, and it's just watching film and doing my analysis for a little bit, and I've been doing a lot of late night analysis. It's like, as much as I like Penix, don't get me wrong, I had Penix as my Heisman favorite before everything collapsed. I just don't think Bo Nix and Michael Penix are first round capable quarterbacks. I think what they could do is, I don't think for the top 15, I don't think they're going to be in that realm. So I think what Oakland could do, body up your offensive line, gives them more protection, then you get to the second round and get your quarterback in. Because I don't
But
know
it's
a bunch
not
of
about being a first round quarterback. It's about what you need and the value of the position in the
yeah,
draft.
but if you're going to get a guy like that, you're going to have to protect him. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't give him no protection and turn him into Archie Manning like with the Saints and have him get
I
bodied
don't
up. every
disagree.
game.
I don't think the Raiders have like a terrible offensive. I'm personally not mad at you going offensive line for that pick in particular. I do think the Broncos need to go quarterback because they're at least you can start Nix, you can start Penix and see what it is. After Nix and Penix, you're not starting any other quarterback to start out the season.
You
The
don't think
Raiders at least have Gardner Minshew, so they'll be fine for a while, not needing to start a quarterback.
So
they did
So
sign
real
Gardner. Okay,
real
I
quick,
was
Lonnie,
gonna
before
say
you go, hold on.
Gardner
So
was
if I was here, if I was Grant, I would have seen if the Chargers willing to trade down again, so I could go because I know the Raiders really like Michael Penix. Can I get him from the Broncos and take Michael Penix? I
that's
still think the
Raiders'
Chargers could get Fasanu at 13 instead of 11.
I think they could, but like I actually think it would be better to not get that because I forgot that they signed Minshew because I feel like Rattler needs to sit and he needs to work on some of his mechanics and some of his other issues. So having Minshew start next year while Rattler's learning because Minshew is a good quarterback. I like Minshew. So having Rattler learn under Minshew for a year, I think that could really help his development.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Saints, that's Grant's team.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
well-
oh god.
Well, Grant just went, so Riddell, it's you. Because Manny said he'll be right back.
Grant, I'll throw this to you. Who you want?
Like, here's the thing. We're stuck with Derek Carr, and as much as of a tragedy as I hate to admit, which I called and I told so the whole move. I think again you go offensive tackle and go for Fashanu or did you already take Fashanu?
Yeah, Lonnie had the Chargers taking Fasanu.
I mean, I see y'all taking Mims. He's
Fuaga's right there.
Fuaga's right there.
Dropping.
Fuaga's right there.
Yeah, but Mims, I feel like has so much potential just with his size. Like, don't get me. I like Fuaga. Fuaga is better, definitely better right now. But Mims is a physical monster, and if under the right circumstances, he can be the.
But
top.
you don't want to play potential on the Saints because the Saints' offensive line is bad. So
see, even on the draft, like the bottom line thing, Mims, they're like Mims is more of an unpolished product. Fuaga can play both guard and tackle right now.
He's more of a project, yes, but if he pans out, he can be the best offensive tackle in this draft.
But now you're saying when you got a guy who can in Fuaga who can play both guard and tackle, he's going to be great off the bat.
I mean, I'm not mad at Fuaga, but Mims is just one of those projects that I'm just like I definitely have my eye on.
See, like the red flags are huge with me.
No, I get that. I get that.
When you have a bad offensive line, you don't want to take gambles. So
I'd rather. So Grant, who are you taking?
Oh God, I gotta think. Because the way it's going, I don't. This team has just been so confusing. So I think the best thing, I think what we need as a team in order to like win. Oh God, you see, because I had my pick on Fashanu the longest time, but I probably would go Fashanu. I think Fatanu is probably we need a big bodied offensive line to protect the quarterback, and
you can
probably
play center or guard for as well.
And
so Fatanu is who you're going with?
Yeah, I'm going with Fatanu. And don't get me wrong, I think Fuaga is talented, but the only thing I think that compares between Polisa and Fatanu and Fuaga is their movement. Because I think Fatanu can move just a tiny bit better than Fuaga, but that's my opinion.
All right, so Riddell, you are up with the Seahawks.
They go Liatu. They need to uplift that edge of that pass rush on the defense.
All right, Lonnie. Oh my bad, that was a Colts. Sorry. Shit. Oh my God,
that ruined the entire draft. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that just ruined the entire draft.
Because if I was the Colts, I'll be kidding Kenyon Mitchell. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't.
I knew you were gonna say Kenyon Mitchell.
Oh my god, I wish.
I wouldn't be mad at saying Cooper DeJean, but I feel like the Colts will go Kenyon.
White corner. Nah, but
Hold on. I'm about to do something.
Nah, the draft is cooked.
Nah, I'm about
You
to.
just got to keep going, right?
Nah.
It's cooked, bro.
I'm not letting this happen.
Oh, you're gonna start over?
I'm starting
You're-
over. I'm
Wow, we're
nasty.
starting
Do you
over.
even remember everything?
Caleb. What was it?
Jaden,
Jaden.
Marvin.
And then Marvin. And then
Manny
the Giants
traded
traded up.
change and have the Vikings draft Drake May.
I still think the Vikings would move up here, but we'll keep
Yeah,
it.
let's make it. You know, we started over. Let's make it make sense. Vikings are trading to the 4th overall pick.
Wow. That's weird. Why would the Vikings not want to move up? And they give up both their picks, right?
Mm-hmm.
For 4.
It
And
would
they
be
take-
hilarious though if no one wants to trade with them. And they just stuck with them.
If the Vikings get Drake May, oh my god.
So we had the Chargers traded down also. This one we could make it with the Bears and they take JJ. With the Giants and they take JJ.
This is one's interesting. Now that you can't trade with the Vikings, do you just go Joe Alt, or do you trade with the Giants?
I still think they trade back.
The reason why I'm unsure if they trade back is they probably want to go Joe Alt. The
Or
Joe
Brock
Alt's not falling to them if they trade.
Because
The Giants are right, one pick difference. Like, what's the point of trading back? Giants are right there, 6.
Okay.
I'm always confusing myself.
So they take Joe Alt at 5.
Because I don't know who else is trading picks like that. Maybe the Cardinals. No, the Cardinals. I don't think the Cardinals would move back up.
No, I don't think so.
No, they would.
Well.
I don't.
Okay. Can you
I mean,
scroll
Malik
down?
Neighbors is right there.
I'm
Would the
pretty
Chargers
sure.
not take Malik?
I'm pretty sure the Cardinals
I
have
had them taking
3
Brock.
first-round picks. Can you scroll down? I'm pretty sure they have 3 first-round picks. So they
The
have the
Cardinals
11th
do?
pick. Yes,
They have
11th
2.
pick, the 23rd pick, and the 27th pick.
Ooh,
So-
wow.
Let's make this interesting. I can see the Cardinals trading back up to get Malik Neighbors.
Then they could have
You
just
don't think they
traded.
settled for, like, Rome?
What? No, they want Neighbors. They think Neighbors and Marvin Harrison are the 2 best receivers in
So
the
they're
draft.
trading their 3 picks.
Yeah, I
No,
think
no, no,
Neighbors
not all
is- I
3.
think Neighbors is top 2. Me
So
personally.
which ones are
The
they
kid-
trading?
So they trade the 11th and the 27th.
Okay, 11th and 27th, and they take Malik.
And they take Malik. Yes, we're trying hard. Hell, come on, final mock draft. We here, Hydro. We here.
All right, the Giants. What do the Giants do then?
JJ still on the board. Damn it. Oh, the Giants really might draft JJ, man.
Yeah, no, they draft JJ.
Yeah, they do.
Oh my. But
Yes,
Roman-
they do. Riddell.
Because y'all, with all due respect, because I think I said this earlier this year when I was talking about like what I see JJ McCarthy being, it was Daniel Jones.
If we're being realistic, I feel like if JJ's on the board, they're drafting JJ. That's what I feel. That's what I'm feeling in my chest.
Because honestly, he could just be a Daniel Jones without the injuries.
Oh my, yeah. Pick JJ.
All right, the times are on the clock. Joel.
But that's not. But no, low key, the injuries did affect.
So the Titans take Joe Alt again, right?
Yeah, Joe.
And then the Falcons.
Dallas
take
Turner.
Dallas Turner.
Dallas Turner.
Now we can kind of get back rolling, yeah.
Let me just freaking.
He was injured, but he was also playing trash before he got injured. So
All right, and then the Bears take
He
Rome.
could be a high end, like the best of
The
Daniel.
Jets
Jones.
take
Not
Brock
bad.
Bowers, and then now we're the Chargers again. So who
now
do the
they go
Chargers take?
tackle because you went Fashanu, whoever had
Yeah, so for
Yeah.
Shanu,
yeah.
and then the Broncos are on the clock, and do they take Penix?
Panics is what we picked. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Raiders are on the clock.
Apparently, Chill is crashing out on playback.
Oh yeah, he literally just said, "I can't say it out loud."
Yo, let
Type
me
it in
see
the private
score.
chat.
I'm not even paying attention to the game.
Type in the private chat.
The
Who's playing
Raiders.
right? It's OKC Pelicans are playing right now, right?
No, Celtics and Heat. Raiders. What did we do? I think Grant drafted JC Latham.
JC Latham for the Raiders.
Yeah.
I thought he drafted him for the Saints. Or did he
No,
take? No, he took Fatanu. He took
Fatanu.
I
Fatanu
took
for the Saints.
Fatanu.
Yo,
All right.
the Heat are beating the. Oh, yo, the Celtics are fraudulent. Celtics Celtics are fraudulent, bro.
All right,
Shut
now
up.
we're back. Now we're back to where we were.
What's
The
the
Colts are
score?
on the clock, and you said they take Riddell. You said they
Kenyon
take
Mitchell.
Kenyon
The Colts
Mitchell.
get Kenyon. Yeah.
All right, the
The
Seahawks
score
are up.
is Heat are winning 100-91, and it's 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
There's still time.
Yo, Celtics are fraudulent, bro.
Oh, yeah, shut up.
Hey, no way, Chill said that, Grant.
Yeah, word for word.
He said, wow. Hold on, we'll talk about that after. All right. The Seahawks are on the clock.
I think
Lonnie,
they go Lotto personally, but that's just me.
Lonnie, who do the Seahawks take?
Seahawks.
Riddell suggested Latu.
That's what I'm thinking. Because do they need another offensive lineman?
I mean, they said according to PFF, they need a guard.
You know what?
Do they potentially? Yeah.
I think they go Murphy. I actually think they go Murphy.
Byron Murphy.
Yeah, I think they go Murphy.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right. We have the Jags. Grant, what did they do?
So the Jags.
Duval.
I'm surprised Flaga's still on the board. I'm not going to hold you.
Honestly, y'all already said Quinion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then go ahead and give him Cooper DeJean.
Yeah.
You got to represent for the culture, bro. Put him at corner. Don't put him at safety.
No,
put him at corner.
Do not. I think Mitchell. I think he is an ideal fit because I think he's explosive and an ascending prospect. He could get his hands on the ball, no diddy, and play very good defense with these receivers. He also has the versatility to move around. I think he's going to work perfectly with that Jags defense, and they need it desperately.
Now we're at the Bengals. Obviously, we talked about the Bengals earlier in the show. Trey Henderson requested a trade. They still got T. Higgins. What do the Bengals do, Riddell?
Now with the Trey Henderson stuff, it makes things interesting because I always mock Johnny Newton on the Bengals. That was my mock.
Latu's right there.
So now Latu is an option, but I think Trey Henderson will play next season. They actually have a hole at D tackle, and Johnny Newton is a dog. So I'm giving them Johnny Newton, Jazar Newton.
All right, Lonnie, we're at the Los Angeles Rams. Lost Aaron Donald to retirement. Lonnie, you here?
No, did I mute myself?
No, we hear you.
Yeah.
The pick is Latu, I'm gonna be honest.
No, the pick is Latu. You can make a case for Arnold because I feel like they do need secondary help badly.
Respect Tre'Davious White.
Can he stay healthy?
Yeah.
I don't know. So yeah.
Right,
but
Latu,
I hear you.
Latu's the pick, Lonnie.
Arnold would be a good secondary pick, but I could see that. Yeah, Latu makes sense.
All right, so now we're on the Steelers. They need some line help. They're always good at always finding and developing receivers, and they need a corner on the other side of Joey Porter Jr. Grant, what do the Steelers do?
So with the Steelers, there's a lot of ways you could go with this. I think they need to get on the defensive side, especially because I look at it. I think the best option here for me is Terrion Arnold.
Agreed. Because
Terrion Arnold, again, he has excellent ball skills. Again, no diddy. Breaking up 32 passes, and it had 6 over his past 2 seasons. I think he's one of the best. I think he's a potential shutdown cornerback in the league. And the talent in this, especially this position group, I think it falls off sharply after the first round. And I think the Steelers have to capitalize on that and get this guy. Because I saw this, because living in the South, I've watched a lot of Alabama football. And watching this dude play, especially, he's a super talented player. So you have to give him the opportunity to go out there and don't waste it with him. because he can. If they nurture him right, I think he can be a great piece on that defense, especially when they need it the most.
All right, so now we have the Dolphins. Do they finally take Fuaga and we stop his free fall?
Yep, they are for sure. And definitely take Fuaga.
Yes.
Yep, they need offensive line help.
They need offensive linemen. Fuaga is too good of a player also to have fallen this far. I think they're like celebrating that they picked him.
Yeah, they need people to protect Tua, man.
Let's take Nate Wiggins.
Nate Wiggins.
God, they're up 11.
They need a corner desperately.
And now we're back with the Cardinals. Who did the Cardinals take? They've been very active in this mock draft, trading down, then up, and then they've just been all over the place.
Who was their first pick?
They picked
Neighbors.
They picked Malik Neighbors, and now what else? They need a lot of stuff. So
they need a lot. I have to say. Do they go with Kool-Aid? Do they go? Because I think Verse is actually gonna fall. I don't think he's gonna go first round. Or if he does, I think it's gonna be later first round. Not that he's not good, just
I know, but no, I hear you.
Just based on what I don't know. I think he's gonna go either late first round or early second. But
I hear you with Kool-Aid. They don't have good corners.
What are they doing, Lonnie?
I'm gonna go Kool-Aid.
Fraudulent.
Kool-Aid. All right. The Dallas Cowboys are on the clock. Lonnie was already like, yeah, it's time for you to retire, Jerry, with the clip he sent in the chat in the Telegram.
No, bro.
Tell Jerry.
Just like, hey, we're the 24
like this.
There are 24 teams picking after us because so we're doing pretty good. I'm just like, what did you say?
Look, man, Jerry, Jerry's giving his life and soul to the Cowboys. And
literally.
It's literally taking everything from him. But Grant, what do the Cowboys do?
End it sooner. I think they need to go for. The thing is with this, I would say build up on defense, but I think about what they need for that offensive line, especially since Tyron Smith is with the Jets. You go for Amarius Mims because I expect that he played right tackle in college, but I see he can play both sides, and I think that's what they need, especially because
fiscal specimens and projects. So
that's what their glory days of the 90s. We got to understand that's what their offense was essentially built off of. So I think you go Amarius Mims.
I mean, they did that last year with the defensive tackle who didn't really pan out like that. But
the Celtics are not a serious team, bro.
Leave my team alone, bro.
Losing to a Miami Heat team without Jimmy Butler is
please shut up.
Crazy.
What?
I said this is why people I said the Heat Celtics series was the most boring series in the playoffs on the panel. And now the Heat are shutting me up. They're shutting me up like, what are you talking about?
This is why the Celtics have had a championship level team since like 2018.
I want to vomit out of my this is disgusting to watch.
All right. So
it's over.
Riddell, the Green Bay Packers. Good team. A lot of good strides last year. What do the Green Bay Packers do?
Packers don't have a lot of holes.
Oh, they lost their left tackle. I think
Bakhtiari retired.
Do
you see what he said on that podcast?
No.
I think he was like, I'm trying to remember the exact words, but someone said it to me. I'm gonna try to pull it up, but he said something. He said it was something like really interesting that someone sent to me.
Random, go to the tackle.
He said how Jawan Taylor ruined off something for offensive linemen. He said that Lane Johnson started to bastardize this thing where, remember, like he was describing like this thing where it's like they would try to get further off the ball and claim that it's like that the way the offensive tackles play has destroyed that system. But
Jawan Taylor was like habitually disregarding the rules to the point the NFL was like, if you don't line this guy up right, we're gonna throw the flag every play. That's how bad it was. And obviously, every team does things to get ahead, but he wasn't just like lining up completely behind.
Now or
line,
never,
right?
Celtics.
He was also like, ooh, he was also like starting. He was false starting too. So Jawan Taylor was a
Go Grant Barton.
Grant Barton.
They're probably going offensive line. I think they're going to Hydro. Personally, I think they're going to see what the corners can do. Jair's still there. They're going to see what Carrington Valentine can do. And there's another corner. I forget his name. So they're just young. So they're going to see like how capable they are.
What's up with Jair? Because I thought like at the end of the season, like he made a post saying like, "Oh, it's been real Packers." Yeah, like
I thought so too. I was like, bro, are you leaving the team? Like, what's going on?
Because remember, he did get in trouble and suspended and all that. And like there were reports that he was a locker room show off or distraction, yada yada yada. And then he made that post, and then we just never heard from him again.
I don't know,
because he's like on to the next chapter, blah 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 blah. So I'm just like,
so Riddell, the Packers take Graham Barton.
Facts.
All right, Lonnie. Now we're with the Bucks. Kind of like the same situation. They're a very good team. They re-signed Baker for like an all right extension. What do you think the Bucks do?
Can you scroll down a little bit because
I think this is easily Jared Verse. I'm not gonna lie.
I could see Jared Verse, but
they drafted somebody the year after they won the Super Bowl. Was it Tryon Shoyinka? And he hasn't panned out. So they might go Jared Verse here.
Yeah,
at least they haven't been happy with his production since they drafted him.
Like, can you scroll down though, like on the prospects? Because I don't forget.
Yeah. Plus, don't forget, Shaquille Barrett did leave the Bucks. He did leave the Bucks.
Go Jared Verse. That makes sense.
Bro, I can't believe the Celtics are about to lose.
All right.
Not every series is a sweep, okay?
Celtics at 5. I have faith.
Yeah, I'm about to say Celtics at 5.
Hey, losing game 2 before you go to Miami is wild, bro.
It's still Celtics at 5.
The Celtics didn't even score. Did they score 100 points? Like, what's going on with that offense?
It's Celtics. Riddell.
Took the game off.
Riddell. It's Celtics in 5.
To be fair, we'll do this. The last basketball talk we'll have because we'll talk about it after the show. They rely a lot on threes, a lot of 3-point shots. So when they're not hitting, they're susceptible to games like this. We're a team that has no business beating them, Grant. No business beating them at any point in this
San Antonio Spurs beat the Nuggets before the season was over.
This is the playoffs, Lonnie. This is the playoffs.
Yeah, it's not.
This is the playoffs.
Whose pick is it? Whose pick is it?
It's Grant's pick.
Shit happens.
Who do the Chargers are back on the clock? They've also been active. Who do they pick? And for just to let you guys know, the Chargers did pick Fashanu with their first pick in this draft.
Has to be wide receiver.
So Brian Thomas is right there. Adonai A.D. Mitchell's right there.
I honestly would say this, but y'all gonna call me crazy.
They just scored over 100 points for Dell.
Acknowledge us.
I hate y'all.
They got 33 seconds to score 7 or to score 8
can
points.
we focus? Give me Brian Thomas Jr. because I think a lot of people. I kind of someone said this on a show that I was on. They were saying that they think Brian Thomas Jr. was like incredibly underrated, and so I went back and did a little bit of
34 and 8 is crazy, Rando. You see that stat?
I think he can be the best.
You know what? You know what, Random? You know what,
Grant? I think he can be the best wide receiver in the draft if it.
I think he can too. From what I've seen, I think he can too. So.
And now
I said he can be if he maxes out his potential.
If he maxes out his potential, I see no reason why he can't.
I hear you.
But that means other people. That means like some people are gonna have to end up being just mid or bust for that to happen. But
shout out Roma Dunze. Whose pick is it? My pick.
It's hold on one second. It's your pick though.
I would say don't.
All right,
Bills. I'm a sabotage.
Yeah. Well, I think the Bills go 80 Mitchell. It's pretty easy.
I could see Keon Coleman.
I was about to say
I could
Keon
see
Coleman.
Xavier Leggett, but I think they go 80.
Nah. I say 80 Mitchell.
Well, the Bills have had a lot of upheaval this season. A lot of people left.
If you lost Gabe Davis and traded Stephon Diggs, I think you could put 80 Mitchell in there, and if he can fix that issue.
I mean, this is kind of what you do with an established quarterback anyway. Once the good quarterbacks, the good
It's
receivers
over.
leave, you give them young receivers you can vibe with.
Facts.
So who do they take? Who do they take?
80 Mitchell.
They take 80 Mitchell, and the Chiefs are fucking pissed.
Not really, because I the guy that I think they're going to draft is still on the board.
And now the Lions. They were active today. Open up the piggy bank to still have some cap room. Maybe they resign Jared Goff to a long-term deal. I think maybe in tomorrow's draft, the Lions could be active if they see somebody who they really like. I could see them going up and making a splash.
Can we look at the corners and the safeties?
I was going to say go defensive line.
According to PFF, their needs are guard, edge, and cornerback.
Chop Robinson's still there.
So here are their corners, Lonnie.
Uh,
And here are their safeties.
I mean, Tyler Nubin's not bad.
Yeah, here,
I don't think
it's
both
both,
any
it's both
safety
together.
going first.
Yeah, I'm about to say it's not first round though. Yeah, I guess they would go D line.
Okay.
That's the push edge too, so you get both.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Chop, yeah, are they worried about his size though? Because like, yeah, he's fast and everything like that, but are they worried about?
I mean, Aiden is small, so I don't think they care about size. Not gonna lie.
So according to PFF, regardless of his lack of polish, Robinson is a gifted player athletically, likely on a level that is top of the class. A lot of what leaves you wanting more from Robinson is coachable. Unlocking that is the key for him to go from a boomer bust athlete to a dominant edge defender. They literally call him an alien. So
Yeah, Chop is athletic freak.
He's an alien, but 250 might be too light for like some.
you can give him maybe what scheme do the Lions run on defense again? Did they run a 3-4?
I don't think so because Aiden doesn't go back in coverage as a linebacker.
I mean, if he's that good, maybe you could just do something with him. He's too much of a freak athlete to leave him on the bench.
I'm fine with Chop. It makes sense that they need another rusher to help Hutchinson out. Not that their secondary rusher isn't edge rusher isn't that bad, but when you're going up against like Jordan Love,
they say they run a base 3-4, but it's like there's multiple schemes behind it. I guess they just alternate Aiden Hutchinson.
I mean, if you have two freak athletes on the edges who can
It's a 3-4-2, but what essentially they do is they can move the linebackers up so they can add a fourth guy and put more pressure on the front side of the ball. So it pushes out the defense a little, so it spaces it out more. That's kind of why they need – because they need it for – I think that's why they're trying to go for a cornerback so they can space it out more and put more pressure on the receiving end of the players because mostly they try to run it up and pressure the quarterback, especially with Dan Campbell and his aggressive defensive scheme.
Yeah, I could see them going TJ Tampa personally. He's another corner.
Is he first round to you though?
Yeah, late first round because this is a cornerback draft and their need is more so corner. As of right now, I don't even know who's their number one corner. I can't even.
It was Gardner.
For the Jets or the Lions?
For the Lions, let me look.
Well, remember at this point, a big thing for these teams at this is like the fifth-year option is a big point in decision making right now too. So who do they feel like can we go up and get when the Ravens traded back into the first round for Lamar? They traded with the Patriots to do that.
Oh, they have Carlton Davis and he's an Emmanuel Mosley. Yeah, they gotta go corner.
Carlton Davis he's an okay corner.
Yeah, so whoever you think this top corner is, that's where you should go.
I'll go Tampa, personally.
All right, Tampa it is. Ooh, shout out to freaking Trent, man, this thing is awesome. TJ Tampa.
Yeah.
All right, now
I have PFF too. I use it constantly. It's really
man,
good.
shout out, man. This is awesome. Now we have the Ravens, who've also had a few departures this season, this offseason. What did they do?
They lost 2 offensive linemen.
Yeah,
I
they
think
need an.
go
I
Jackson Johnson. What were you about to say, Grant?
no. I think the Washington can find a way to. I'm just trying to see. I'm sorry. I'm reading my notes. I think Washington, they find a way to bounce back into round 1 and trade up with the Ravens to get. And what they do is, hear me out. They get that pick, and the Ravens get the 36th and 78th pick in the draft. And what they do is they go for Tyler Guyton from Oklahoma.
So they get which pick?
They get the 36th, they get the 30th pick, but in exchange, the Ravens get the 36th and the 78th pick. That's what they get in exchange for this.
I like
and
it.
You get Tyler Guyton. Because
I also heard rumors that Patriots might move up in the draft too.
Yeah. Why? And Tyler Guyton, and I'm not trying to steal your thunder, but the Commanders just released Charles Leno's Jr., and I don't think Adam Peters is going to want to wait till round 2 to fix it. And since I think the thing is, Washington allowed 65 sacks last season. That was the second most. And Guyton's only played right tackle, but I think he has the movement skills and upside, especially to be able to play the other side. He thrives in space, especially, and he has really great footwork and is quick off ball. So I think that would be perfect for the Oklahoma.
A late trade into the first round by the Commanders.
Because think about it now. Now that you have something, and you have something that you can have for protection, and at least the Ravens get somewhat of compensation for it. So,
all right, I like it.
All right, so now we have the 49ers, the looming Brock Purdy extension. It's still a little bit away, but it's coming. Plus, they have to figure out what they're doing to Ayuk, and they let Armstead go. So what did the 49ers do?
I mean, they're in an interesting spot because we saw like a lot of their injuries happen in their secondary. But this isn't a deep secondary draft.
I was gonna say Kool-Aid, but he's already gone.
Yeah,
they definitely would have appreciated.
All pro safety like tore his Achilles or ACL like in the middle of the year.
His Achilles,
more towards the end of the year. It was more towards.
It was like the game.
Oh, you're talking about Ufanga?
Ufanga tore his Achilles right before the game against who was it?
Eagles?
Yeah, it was right before. I think it was right before that one. It might have been the Eagles or someone else, and then he was done.
Damn, Shaq called the upset, by the way.
I would.
Do they want to pay Brandon? Or do they go wide receiver here?
Well, would they trade Brandon Ayuk
line personally?
Would they trade Ayuk with this pick? Would they trade him during the draft?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised, but actually, you can go Powers Johnson. I don't know. I said Jackson.
Powers Johnson, and now it's the Chiefs. They're taking Keon Coleman, are they not?
No, they're taking Ladd McConkey.
Oh, they're taking. Did we say Xavier Legette yet?
No. I like Legette, but now that Rashee Rice is a criminal, they're taking Ladd McConkey.
They're going non.
He's going to jail. I hope people understand that. He's going to jail. 8 felonies is crazy. In Texas, he's going to jail.
The logic behind going Ladd here is that they need someone who can create separation, especially in the slot. Rashee Rice was that guy to an extent, but now they're going to need a guy because Rashee Rice probably is going to get suspended. So Ladd McConkey.
No, he not getting suspended.
Well, they're going to suspend him too, but he
might go to jail, man. 8
felonies is crazy.
I feel like if you have felony charges, you're gonna get suspended.
We didn't even count the misdemeanors he probably has. 8 felonies is crazy.
He's cooked.
Plus, a kid was involved and it was in Texas. He's going to jail.
Because people have gone suspended for a lot less. Because remember, it's all about the shield. If it's something that's detrimental to the look of the NFL, you can get suspended for it.
Fact. And it's on tape. So Ladd McConkey can create separation. I would argue, as of right now, the best current left for the wide receivers, and he can do it at the short and intermediate game, which is a place that will open up the deep game now that they have Hollywood Brown. So more than likely,
I would say they're going Lad. I wish Rashid Rice wasn't an idiot, and I would go Keon or Xavier Leggett personally, but it is what it is.
Wow.
All right. So
I-
we're going Lad McConkey.
Look at
And
me.
that is our first round. Let's
Love
go
to
and
see what they. I love to see what they grade it.
They don't grade it on PFF.
Oh, they don't.
Nah, unfortunately.
That's a shame. But our first round starts off with Caleb Williams. Surprise, surprise. The Commanders take Jaden Daniels. And then a shock of all shocks, which changes the draft immediately. The Patriots say they kind of follow the Hellfire model and they take Marvin Harrison Jr. And they try to get Spencer Rattler in the second round.
Matter. That's what they said. They said receivers matter.
Hey man, I can't wait
Drake
for the
May's
draft
right there.
tomorrow. It should
Drake
be
May's right there.
They spit in Bill Belichick's face. They're like, "Yo, this is what you've never done. It's what you've never touched. This is how we're gonna start off the new era."
bro. The
Go
Patriots
on,
about to
go on
become
that
the
next
new
day.
Browns, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
And
Damn.
then since now Drake May is free game, the Arizona Cardinals phone lines ring off the hook, and the Vikings win the trade, and they trade up to get Drake May, their quarterback of the future.
Random. I don't think you need to go through all 32 picks. I'm not
Oh,
gonna lie.
man, I'm just saying. I'm at least talking about the big moves.
But that's a lot.
It's a big move. It's a big move.
No. I'm not saying. I'm not disagreeing.
I'm not going to go over. I'm just going to go over the big moves.
Okay.
All right. So then after that, the Chargers take Fasanu with their pick, but then the Cardinals trade back up again and take somebody. The Cardinals traded back up and take Malik, but you know what? You're right. I'm gonna drop this because I have a few questions for you as we head out. About some player career projections. I just want to see if you guys would be happy with. All right. I wrote these down just because I knew these are all just kind of the big name guys. So if Marvin Harrison Jr. has Andre Johnson's career, are we happy with that?
No.
If Marvin Harrison,
I think he
what?
can. As
If Marvin
Andre
Harrison
Johnson's
Jr. has Andre Johnson's career, are we happy with that?
no.
No. Because Marvin
I don't-
Harrison Jr. is a generational prospect. Like these generational prospects, even though Andre Johnson is great, you shoot for the moon, man. You shoot for the best.
I mean,
You
Andre
aim
Johnson's
to be on
ball.
top.
With
Andre
him,
Johnson's
it's top of the pit, top of the pile, or
So where do you think MHJ should end all time? Like,
better than Julio.
I think he's aiming to end to be one of the best, greatest receivers of all time.
is Andre Johnson one of the greatest of all time?
I mean, like top 3.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you think top 3. So I'm just gonna name like 5. So AB, not no order. So Jerry, AB, T.O., Randy.
Yeah, I think he wants to be in that conversation because
Of course
Marvin
he
Harrison.
wants to, but you think he's gonna end up in that conversation?
I don't know. It's hard to really say because the NFL's changed so much. Like people could like tax this kind of thing because like look at Jettis and Jamar Chase. Based off their pace, they could be. It could be top 3, bro. Like based off the current pace of Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. So it's really hard to say, but Marvin Harrison Jr., based off his talent, based off the expectation, based on being a generational prospect, based on being 6'4", running routes like he does and moving the way he does, there's no reason why he can't aim to be on the top of the top. I'm not going to lie.
All
I
right.
think sky's the limit.
All right. So Brian Thomas Jr. If he ends up being Chris Godwin, are we happy with that?
Chris Godwin, Brian.
That's hey.
That's
Just asking questions.
That's
Just asking
Xavier. That's my Xavier Worthy comp. Is good.
I'm asking questions.
I think he'll be fine with that. I'm not going to lie.
Chris Godwin?
Yeah. Chris Godwin.
No. I'm just at Lonnie. Is Chris Godwin such a bad comp?
Oh, no. They don't play the same.
No.
Yeah,
I'm just saying if he ends up being like has the career of Chris Godwin, you're telling me you're not happy with that for Brian Thomas Jr.?
No, because I think he could be a top 10 receiver in the league.
I don't think so, personally.
I'm saying if he maxes out, he could be a top 10 receiver in the league. 6'3", can run a 4.3, good hands, good mobility, good routes. Yeah.
I mean, I need sharper intermediate and short route game, and his hands are great in terms of deep and like contested, but it's not like
He could be what DK should have been. How about that? He could be what DK should have been.
he's not as physical as a runner as DK when he has the ball in his hands. The better someone who should be DK but better is Xavier Leggett. That's who should be DK but better. I expect Leggett could be a dominant receiver, not a top 10 receiver necessarily. Brian Thomas Jr. I like. It's similar to Drake London. I think Drake London, from what I've seen, is better than Brian Thomas Jr. I mean, obviously he's in the NFL, but like I think his ceiling is higher than Brian Thomas Jr. personally.
See,
I don't.
To be fair, when I first had the Chris Godwin comp, I had it with Malik Neighbors, but I knew all of you would shoot that.
Oh, that's disrespectful.
I
Neighbors is a problem.
I think Brian Thomas's floor is a lot lower than Drake London's, but his ceiling is a lot higher.
I disagree.
All right. If Fashanu was Laramie Tunsil, are we okay with that?
Yes. Larry Thompson was a great tackle.
Yeah, he was a great tackle.
All right. Just I got a few more for y'all. All right. If see, Brock Bowers was kind of tough because he's a tweener. I saw one place saying he used to be like Rob Gronkowski, which is insulting.
I'm seeing a lot of George Kittle.
Because Gronkowski, okay, I understand that you don't really need a true tight end anymore in the league, but he was a true tight end. He could run away from everybody. He was a great blocker, absolutely great.
He's only the greatest tight end of all time.
He's the greatest tight end of all time.
All right, bro.
What do we? Whether or not you want to, the fact that you could also count on him on the run game is amazing. He gave you everything, and especially early in his career, the only way you could stop Rob Gronkowski was to injure him. That's the only way you could stop him. Ask TJ Ward. Ask TJ Ward.
Same with Kelsey.
Kelsey does not play the
Kelsey's playoff dominance is second to none.
Thomas.
What are you talking about?
You
can't stop Kelsey in the playoffs. He's never been stopped in the playoffs. What are we talking about?
I'm just saying. I think Rob Gronkowski's stats are not to laugh at either. Plus the fact that he retired, he played, he didn't play as long. He's nasty.
They're both nasty. They're both nasty. Brock Bowers is also a generational prospect, so saying that he can be Gronk is not crazy.
Unless he becomes, when you say Gronk to me, I'm saying I'm getting the full package. Is Brock Bowers giving me the full package? If you said Travis Kelce, maybe I'd feel different.
He can be a worse blocker, but a better receiver.
How do you feel about that, Lonnie?
No. Sorry, no.
Oh my god! I'm
not
There's not even like delays. Rob Gronkowski was nasty on the line.
When it comes to being a better receiver and the tight end, the only thing that I'll even like consider is Tony Gonzalez and Travis Kelce.
Brock Bowers can be that. That's the expectation for Brock Bowers to be the next one.
I think he could be George Kittle without the injuries, which is still.
I don't think he's a blocker like Kittle. He's not. If anything, he would be a better version of. Honestly, he could be the next Travis Kelce. I'm gonna keep it a stat. He can be. He can line up in the slot and just dominate.
What if I said Antonio Gates?
That's not bad.
It's not bad.
Because I tossed out a few names. The problem was the names that immediately came to my mind, Lonnie, were Jason Witten, and I didn't think so. Dallas Clark, I didn't think so.
Kellen Winslow?
Kellen Winslow, but even though he was a better blocker than people give him credit for, I think Antonio Gates is a great comp for him. So if I said that Brock Bowers could be Antonio Gates, you'd be happy with that. Obviously, he's a Hall of Famer.
I mean, that's a top 5 tight end of all time.
All right. If JJ McCarthy is Kirk Cousins, are we happy with that? Remember, he's getting in our mock draft. He's getting drafted top 5.
For JJ, he's happy.
Well, that's JJ. Are you happy with that? As the Giants,
yeah, you get Kirk Cousins.
Baby.
Grant,
what?
If you're the Giants and you draft JJ McCarthy and he becomes Kirk Cousins, are you happy with that?
No, because I think he can be way better than that.
I don't. So
Yo, what if he plays good?
JJ can be, Grant. How good do you think he can be?
I think this first year it'll be difficult because I'm just gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't think he's gonna ball.
Don't even let him play. That's just me.
I'm saying, what's his ceiling, Grant? Like in his prime, his best year. What is he like a top 5 QB that year? Is he an MVP? Is he a top 10? Like where is he at? Like
I think he could be a top 10 QB.
Kirk can be a top 10 QB. Yeah, hating on Kirk.
I'm just asking questions.
You think JJ can be better than Kirk was this year?
Well, you're asking me.
We didn't get to see a full Kirk season, so
We didn't get to see
play against the best teams in football. The Eagles,
didn't get to see a full
the 49ers, and the Chiefs.
We didn't get to see a full Kirk season.
Okay, the year before he made the playoffs with a terrible defense.
What Kirk was doing this year
Did
was
you see JJ McCarthy carrying an offense with a terrible defense like Kirk did?
I'm just asking.
And make the playoffs?
I'm just asking a question.
And win 13 games?
I think.
And losing to Daniel Jones at home?
He had a terrible defense.
Losing Daniel Jones at home is crazy.
I think he could be a slightly better Daniel Jones, which isn't a bad thing. That's like a top 15.
No, a bad thing. I'm going to be honest. It's a bad thing.
What if he was
middle of a pack QB, which isn't bad. But hey, if he ends up being better, then hey, he ends up being better.
I got 3 more for you. I thought this one was kind of crazy, but what if Jaden Daniels becomes Donovan McNabb?
What? That doesn't make any sense.
I don't like the comp, but that's fine.
Because one, McNabb was a fat boy, and
you go watch him when he was younger. Go watch McNabb.
I'll just say, McNabb had weight issues.
Go watch him when he was younger.
I guess
go watch McNabb when he was younger.
One's way skinny, and one was on the heavy side. So, but I also feel like they play way different.
Okay, so
Jaden Daniels reminds me of like RG3.
Well, you don't want him to be RG3 because he was a generational bust.
No, he wasn't. He just got injured.
Yeah, because of injuries. What are you talking
about?
Which actually, to be fair, that could be Jaden Daniels. He takes way too many hits. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
We're not gonna act like RG3's rookie season wasn't phenomenal.
But made the playoffs.
It was phenomenal. It was
for the Commanders.
Injuries, and then
but at the end of it all, we saw Kirk Cousins take his spot, and he was
because he was getting injured, and then he was playing on his injuries, which made the injuries even worse.
All right, two more for you. If Latu became Cam Jordan, are we happy with that?
Yeah. Latu, if he became Cam, yeah, that's fine. I wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
He can be. I think he has to be Cam Jordan, so it's not a bad thing.
And this one's just personal for me, and it's the last one. If this is all contingent, if they make Cooper DeJean a corner, could Cooper DeJean be the greatest white corner of all time?
He can be the greatest white corner of all time his rookie year, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, I gotta go back. That's a history lesson.
I'm mad there wasn't a Caleb Williams question.
Well, I do have a Caleb Williams one, but I don't know if it's because Patrick Mahomes is crazy, so I'm not going to say Patrick Mahomes.
No, I don't think he.
Let's say
Listen, I'm not trying to sit here.
Prime Deshaun Watson.
Like
Deshaun Watson was one of my comps.
Do you think he could be prime Deshaun Watson?
Could he be Deshaun before the scandal?
Could he be that good?
Before the scandal?
Yeah, he could be that good.
Yes, I think.
But speaking of Caleb, because I almost forgot about the subject. So I talked about it before in our chat, but he did an interview with Ryan Clark a few days ago saying he was upset his freshman year because Spencer Rattler was getting most of the reps and Spencer Rattler was starting. When Spencer Rattler was projected to be the number one QB, the number one pick that year, and was considered to be like the next generational QB, yada, 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 yada. And then we ended up seeing Spencer Rattler crashing out. But the way he was talking about, like, he was basically saying, like, I chose to go to Oklahoma to be the number one quarterback. But then Ryan Clark's like, you knew Spencer Rattler and, like, before that, Baker Mayfield and Spencer were there, right? He's like, yeah, I should have started before them.
I'm looking at that as confidence.
Yeah, coming out of high school, he's like, yeah, he's like, I was very upset that I did it. So I was just like,
I like
I'm looking
it.
at it as confidence, though, Lonnie. That's just young
it was
kids. They
more
expect to
because,
start
some of
immediately.
it is confidence, but then it became like delusion because it's like, wait, so the guy that was projected to be the #1 pick, you were mad that he was getting reps? Yeah.
If I think I'm better than you, then yeah.
What if in practice he was playing better, but they're just giving Spencer more reps because
Well, he was
he's the
saying
number one guy?
before practice even started, he wanted it. He was
Yeah,
saying
because
before
he probably watched Spencer play, and he says, "I'm better than him." That's just I think that's like if you're
And
one of
to
those
be fair
guys,
to Caleb, he was right.
was right.
was right, but
That's why I'm sitting there. I just think
the
maybe
way
he saw.
the way he was talking, it was just like, yo, this is kind of like blind air.
Bro, I
It's blind
guarantee
air.
I guarantee you that Kobe would have done the same thing if he was on Jordan's team. He was
I'm
like,
better
bro,
than him.
why is he starting in front of me? I'm better than him.
I'm better than him.
I think it's not crazy to say that, but the whole Caleb thing, it's
threes.
like you're gonna be mad about that. Keep in mind, Spencer Rattler before the Red River rivalry game,
Threes already.
people were putting this dude in Heisman combos.
They were saying he's one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play high school ball.
No, yeah, he like his high school film is some of the at the time was some of the craziest stuff I've seen from a kid his age. The fact that he was that big, it was still able to move that fast in the pocket. And Caleb Williams, he had a stinker. He had a stinker, and then Caleb Williams subbed him in. I think it's just petty child stuff. Like, you're better now. You're the more superior one. You shouldn't work. That's sort of beneath you.
Do you think he was jealous of Spencer?
Probably
Yeah,
a little bit.
Because I think Caleb was a higher rated recruit than Spencer, and he got the starting job.
And like you said at that point, like ESPN's like, this is the next guy. He's going to be the #1 pick, blah, blah, blah.
Well, ESPN, the thing I hate about ESPN is that they do this a lot with, especially with the college stations. I remember there was a Notre Dame quarterback, and I can't remember his name off the top of my head. And Mel Kiper was out here saying, like, if this dude didn't pan out, he would quit for life. And like,
I think I know you're talking.
He said he would turn everything in and he would quit.
This
It wasn't
the guy that got drafted by the Packers.
It was by the Panthers, and I can't remember his name. And I'm trying to remember his name.
I'm just gonna look it up real quick. QB.
You can just type Notre Dame.
Jimmy Clausen. That's who it was. Jimmy Clausen.
Yeah, he played he went to high school like 20 minutes from me. Like people were.
He went what? Guess what he did? He went 1 for 9 with 3 TDs and 9 picks. It was so bad the Panthers got the #1 pick and took Cam Newton. Mm-hmm. That's how bad it was. So
they were glazing the hell out that dude.
They put too much. Here's the thing, and this is the thing I always say about the draft. 95% of the time, these guys that come into the draft, we don't know how their careers are going to pan out. And I hate having to put such a high expectation on a dude because then if it doesn't pan out, it blows up in your face. And
do you think that the NFL scouts are like the worst scouts out of any sport?
I think it's really hard.
No, I think
it's really hard. Baseball, I would say baseball because
soccer scouts, they can like.
I can't speak for soccer, but I think baseball because they'll pick a guy who goes in the first round, and then he might never reach the pros in baseball, and you spent the first round pick on him.
Yeah,
so that's why I think baseball is. That's what I would say.
And that's soccer. Still like soccer guys can be goose egg for 8. Y'all don't know this. There was a guy named Freddie Adu, and this kid at 14 signed a pro club contract with MLS at 14 years old. And kids were calling him the American Messi. They thought this kid was going to be one of the best. He tried to go to Europe and sign a contract with this Portuguese club called Benfica. Never panned out. Went back and was injury ridden, back and forth through 8 clubs. I think he's on a 3rd tier side in like Sweden or something. So it's harder because I think a lot of times people overvalue some characteristics, and when it doesn't pan out the way they need it, especially for their teams. But
my thing with NFL scouts is that like I feel like some of them don't understand like their current team's scheme. That's a big
Exactly.
thing. 'Cause we know players fit certain schemes. Players thrive well in the scheme. So like you constantly drafting players that don't fit your scheme is a big issue. Also,
I
like
mean, it's
we've
hard to
also
see
seen
that.
like scouting. We've also seen scouting reports of like players when it comes to their negatives ends up being all of that player's actual strengths. So it's just like
I mean, I wouldn't go that far. A lot of these guys get paid to do their job. And at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, a lot of these players need to adapt at the same time. When they come into the draft, they have to adapt to the situation. If they're a great talent, they should be, or hopefully be able to adapt to the scheme that is put in place. Because you can't pass up on, like, for example, if you run a 3-4 scheme and you see Lotzer right there and you got the 29th pick, you can't pass him up just because you see someone who fits the scheme better. Like, he's too good. So you gotta draft him regardless.
And sometimes you can do
a lot
everything
of
you
these
want.
players are going to play in so many different schemes anyway. They're gonna get cut, traded. They're gonna get new coaches. Like, you're an NFL player. Adapt, learn, and adapt.
Well, sometimes also you can get everything right, Lonnie.
if you know this guy's mainly a cover corner and all you play is zone, why are you drafting him?
He's
Look,
the best corner on the board.
he might be the best. Sometimes the best player available, and then you just say because
like you see on the film, every time he plays zone, he sucks.
Maybe you could find a way.
There's no one that bad. Like that's
different. But like,
there's no one that bad.
Yeah, but I think also some coaches like, look, I'll just figure it out. And also, you could have the perfect setup for a guy, and he just couldn't get it.
Yeah.
Because he could be lying to you in the pre-draft process. Like, I bet you money that Jamarcus Russell was telling the Raiders everything they wanted to hear.
Oh, I work out
everything they wanted to hear. And then the minute that they get they get him in camp, and they're like, oh my God. And then they realize that he wasn't even watching film. God, we've all heard the story where they send him home with empty blank tapes. And then the next day they asked him if you watched any tapes. He's like, yeah, the one with the zone defense, when the Raiders knew that he wasn't watching any tape at all.
Yeah,
it's a complete inexact science. Because even when it's done, because not even Jamarcus Russell, Ryan Leaf. Turns out Ryan Leaf was just couldn't do it, especially when the guy you got drafted, who was drafted behind him, turned out to be one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time in Peyton Manning. It's just tough, man. It's such an inexact science.
But
you can't do a lot with that.
But we are gonna shut it down. You guys got any final remarks? And also, fun fact: the Cowboys are talking Ezekiel Elliott on a potential return.
No. You
they
let him go.
Back. They don't have
I don't care. No.
He's not gonna make buku money, Grant. He's not gonna make buku money. Give him the league minimum and let him come home.
Who else do you have?
If I'm Zeke, I'm not taking the league minimum because on the Patriots, he actually played well.
I'd rather have the Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters than Ezekiel Elliott as my running back right now.
Maybe
but they damn near the same.
To get him some more money. You know, Jerry loved him, so
he loved everybody.
Hey, man, that's what works for. Hey, say what you want about Jerry. He's a great drafter. But we are gonna shut it down for tonight. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Anything you guys want to say on the way out?
Patriots. I swear to God, if you mess up this draft,
Don't be like Lonnie. Don't be like Lonnie. Patriots.
I'm already Team CJ right now, but don't make me act up. Don't make me act up.
I don't want to draft JJ McCarthy, but JJ McCarthy, if you end up being good, I'm gonna become a bandwagon. You heard it here, folks, for sure. Not gonna lie.
All right, tap in tomorrow, guys. We are going to be watching the first round of the NFL draft live, reacting, asking questions. You guys have one draft prediction. I think the Lions are going to make a shock move. I think they're going to be very active.
I think Raiders are trading up for a quarterback.
What is my prediction? Don't be surprised if the Chiefs move up.
I'll be surprised.
Don't be surprised. Hey, don't be surprised if Washington tries to go back in round one to get another piece for that offense.
I can see that too.
They go in the bottom of they go and try to make a late trade with one of the bottom, was what, like a 29th, 30th pick. Do not be surprised, because I definitely see them trying to make that move happen.
All right, guys. Yeah, pray for all the Celtics fans out there. They had no business losing that game by 10, which is crazy.
Crazy.
But at home. But We'll see you guys tomorrow for round 1 reactions.
Celtics.
Make sure you subscribe to all of our panelists' YouTube channels, which are on our YouTube channel. Support us by going to our PayPal, which is theopenfield@gmail.com. Our Cash App, which is our Cash App, which is $ The Open Field Podcast. Make sure you subscribe. This is just personal plug. Subscribe to the BSS, the Black Sensei Society, for all your anime hot takes. We did talk about Brady fans versus LeBron fans yesterday. I crashed the fuck out.
That's an understatement of the century.
Per usual, when it comes to
You crashed out.
in the
No,
break.
I'm not gonna sit here and lie like I didn't crash
I had to
out.
mute you like 3 times yesterday. I was just like,
Nah, I just think it's unfair, but whatever. We don't need to get into it now. And also, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Subscribe to the podcast. Bye, guys. Watch the Celtics lose Game 3. I'm talking mess.
shut up.
I'm throwing hands. I'm throwing